Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Tour de Verse, the final stage today, and I am excited. My name is Crucian Gaming, and we have my man Blood with me today, and today we are your casters. Blood, how you feeling today?
Not too bad. I'm looking forward to this race. I think it's going to be a great one.
Yeah, we've had two great stages so far. Stage one, starting off very crazy with some nice plain terrain in Microtech, and then stage two with some bumpy roads ahead. And it was definitely a mess in stage two, but I think today we definitely have a treat for the viewers out there in stage three so far. But, you know, let's kind of recap a little here, Blood, because in stage two, there was a big, just the servers weren't letting us race. You know, people were running all over the place. Like, how do you feel about stage two, you know, looking back at that? And how do you feel about going into stage three, Blood?
I think the word minefield kind of works out really good for stage two. Stage two was that point in Star Citizen where people are like, what the heck happened? And you just say, look, man, it's alpha. We're just working through things. Give us a chance. We're working there. That's kind of what stage two, stage two kind of really brought that to light in the fact that our drivers came with quite a few vehicles ready to really push, get forward. It was only 90 kilometers. We thought it was going to be a real quick race. We thought 60 minutes later we'd be done. And once they hit the ground and started going, it was explosions everywhere. Our winning team, if I remember correctly, I think they said they went through 19 cyclones just to make it 90 kilometers. 90 kilometers is not a real long way. This time, I think that we're going to see some difference due to the fact of what we've done in preparation for this final race. The organizers really came together. They talked about it. They did quite a bit of testing to make sure that today's race would be good. And because of that, I think we're going to see a really good event today. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so for those of you that are tuning in early here today, guys, welcome to the stream. Pleasure to have you. Today, the Tour de Verse Stage 3 was supposed to take place on Microtech, going through New Babbage, but because of some bugs and some concerns with racing through New Babbage, we have decided to swap it over to Magda. So we will be racing on Magda today, a little bit away from HCMS Han. We'll show you guys that map later on today, but for now, Blood, let's kind of go over one more time for the people that don't know about the lore of Tour de Verse. If you want to go ahead and go through that and tell them what Tour de Verse is about and how it became to life.
Oh, absolutely. I'm happy to. Crucian, thank you so much. So the Tour de Verse was actually created by Lev Cronenberg, and essentially the reason why this whole entire thing was created was Lev had seen so many citizens zipping across the verse like worker ants. They were so busy worrying about trading and bounty hunting and, taking care of all the different things that they were after, that he felt there was not enough stopping and appreciating the beauty of, the areas that we were in. All of these things are naturally made, and we really need to stop and take a chance. So what he did is he created this race as a way to sort of highlight different aspects of the Stanton system on this one here, and different, we'll be doing different systems in different places at different times. And he really wanted the people just to slow down, take stock of what's around them, and see the natural beauty that they're surrounded by on an everyday basis. And that's how it was created.
Yeah, very similar, right? So, SACE organization, they got the Tour de Verse from the Tour de France. So, again, I always talk about this, and I like talking about it because we have so many different races, in the community, whether it's, Daymar Rally or even, Tour de Verse. It always comes from something. Some type of race has inspired this race, and you got the Dakar for Daymar Rally, and then you got the Tour de France for the Tour de Verse. And I think it's just so it's so fun and it's so fresh out there that it gives us more things to make up lore and make things part of the game overall, which is, I think, it's absolutely fantastic. So again, today, unfortunately, because of stage 3 and some issues by driving through New Babbage, we're going to be actually taking our final stage of the Tour de Verse over to Magda, ladies and gentlemen. But we have another quick video here about Zark Media talking about just the inauguration about Tour de Verse in its first year. So we'll take a look at that right now.
Hello, I'm Oliver Zark, founder of Zark Media and producer of the Stanton Today news show on HBN. We report on everything from politics to technology from around Stanton and the Empire. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to Zark Media to stay in the loop with important events. I'm Oliver Zark, and you will be wiser than yesterday. Now enjoy Tour de Verse, and I'll see you on Stanton today.
And we are back here. Quick 30 seconds there. But you know what, Blood? I know last time during stage 2, we have a lot of issues with some rules. We had, people were running when they weren't supposed to. Can we talk about, I know there were some changes being made here in stage 3 of Tour de Verse. Can you talk a little bit about those changes that we've made?
Oh, absolutely. So there were some issues where the participants of the race weren't sure if their vehicle blew up. Were they supposed to just stand there while they were waiting for their scout ship to go back and come back again? They didn't realize that, well, maybe I can run, so I'll just go ahead and start running. But then we found out that if you ran, you needed to be picked up and brought back to where your last vehicle was exploded. So they decided to make some changes this time around in order to facilitate the state of Star Citizen and the enjoyment of the participants in the race. So one of those major rules is, if for something happens to your vehicle and you lose the ability to drive forward, whether it be a tire falling off or it about to explode, or it does explode, you as a racer can get out and start running towards that next checkpoint. You're more than welcome to. When your scout ship catches up with you for whatever reason, it will be able to drop your next vehicle right there where you're at. You will be able to get back in and then continue from there. The reason why they did that is it continues the race. It gives everybody something to do. And it also, we found out that, you weren't really gaining that much time running, so it didn't actually change the race very much. Another huge change that they made. Oh, go ahead.
No. Go ahead, Blood.
Oh, another huge change that they made is some of the racers were asking, hey, can we have more than one scout ship? That way, while one scout ship is gone and picking up vehicles, then the next scout ship can be coming. And the truth of the matter is that your scout ship is an integral piece of equipment for your race team. And there is a risk versus reward when you do these types of races, that if your scout ship is there with you, you have those eyes in the sky, you have somebody helping you navigate the environment that you're in. However, the risk part is, if they need to go back and get more vehicles because you're having trouble, you lose that eye in the sky, you lose that navigation, and you should, pay a penalty for it. So the change that we made this time is, yes, while you are able to have multiple scout ships with vehicles, you can have 100 scout ships fully loaded with vehicles if you want. You cannot have more than one in the air at a time. So if you want to have another scout ship put somewhere full of vehicles, just in case something happens to the other one, that's great. You can do that. However, as far as your team goes, you've got your 2 drivers on the ground in the vehicle, you've got your 2 support pilots in the ship following you, and that's it. No extra, no extra 2 scout ships or 3 scout ships, running back and forth. And that's a huge, huge change.
Yeah, it's a huge change because they'll give these racers quite an advantage if they know that they can stage some scout ships away from the racing area. So that way, like what we saw in stage 2, right, Blood Eagle? In stage 2, we actually saw Team Oro get out because I believe they were about to have Team Nova pass them, and they just got out of the vehicle. Since they had no vehicles left, they knew they couldn't run, and they went ahead and actually gave some fire, some grenade launchers, shot down the vehicle there for Team Nova, and it was actually an incredible turnout there for Oro, and saved them some time, and providing them that win, because while they took down Team Nova, they were able to get their scout ship back, drop another Cyclone, and continue pushing towards the finish line. So, an incredible showing there, about the rules. So a lot of great changes to benefit racers, so that way everybody can continue moving forward no matter what. And then one other thing here, Blood Eagle, was that, no matter what, once the race begins, I believe racers will get up to 2 hours to race as far as they can. And at that end of the 2-hour mark, no matter where the races are, that will conclude the final stage of Tour de Verse. So it doesn't matter where they are, they're going to be, out there. So, but, like we talked about for stage 3, we're not in New Babbage anymore. We're actually going to Magda. So let's take a quick look at our map and go over that. I'll let you take this one away, Blood Eagle.
So we're going to be starting at a crater called the LM81B crater, and that's where we're going to be starting. It's actually a beautiful crater. You can actually see it sort of behind our map here now. And this first area is 63.1 kilometers to checkpoint 1. At checkpoint 1, we will have a Cutty Red there, a Cutlass Red sitting there as a checkpoint with a referee there at that checkpoint waiting for people to come in. This first area, actually, believe it or not, is quite a bit hilly. So once they get out there, there's some steep mountains, and there's a chance, if they wanted to, that the teams could dip south and kind of go around that entire mountain range. Now, it's if you look down there where the pockmarked area is, down towards that blue sort of bottom area, that gets kind of flat down in there. So if they wanted to, they could skirt all of those mountainous areas and be able to run on a much more flat terrain. However, in order to loop all the way around to checkpoint 1, it's going to cost them more time. So they have to choose whether or not to do that whole as the ship flies straight line and go over all those mountains, or whether or not they want to zip beneath that and kind of grab that little bit more smooth, flat area, but at the risk of having more time. With what we saw from the vehicles last time, it might be a good idea. You actually could possibly make up time, not messing up your vehicle, because we saw quite a few jumps off of mountains and falls down mountains, and people trying to drive up mountains. Once they hit that checkpoint 1 and they've checked in, one of either the driver or the co-driver, somebody has to get out, run up to the referee and actually check in. Once that's been done, they can get back in their vehicle. They can switch out a vehicle there if they want. It's totally up to them. And at that point, they've got a 55.8 kilometer ride across I'm going to call it a dune sea, because it's kind of a flat area, on its way to the finish, which is Mount Philippa. And if you may not know this, but believe it or not, Philippa, or the reason why it was called Mount Philippa, is Philippa was actually the favored secretary of Lev, and that's the reason why he named it Mount Philippa, is because he kind of wanted to immortalize her in the race forever, and give her that place for being by his side for so many years.
Yeah, so as you can see in the map, ladies and gentlemen, right, just like stage 2, right, we had areas where, racers could have took and go through another part of the race to where it's more smooth, right? I don't think they want to take rocks or mountains today. I mean, if it takes longer, if you can have a smoother ride and it takes a little bit longer for the race to finish or to get to checkpoint 1, I would be a lot happier, because I'm not losing too many cycles at that point. I don't have to keep changing my scout ships. But, right, if that time allows it and you can go through that smooth area and go around a little bit south of the starting line and try to go around into a more flat area, that could definitely benefit a lot of racers. But as we've seen, remember, these racers don't know, the race until they actually get into it. This is the first time they've seen it. Probably if they're watching right now, but they have to go straight to the checkpoint. A lot of times out of 10, Blood Eagle, they go straight to the checkpoint no matter what. Like, these guys won't take any other route. They just go straight out there to see who can get, to that finish line as fast as they can. So, this is definitely going to be an interesting race. As always, Magda is always beautiful, and I absolutely love seeing, Magda race. And obviously in Mount Philippa, you're going to see the 890 jump winning for our final racers. What has been your experience just racing on Magda so far, Blood Eagle?
So Magda used to be, as far as Star Citizen is concerned, Magda used to be what I called planet locked. I guess you could also call it title locked, in the fact that one side of Magda always faced the sun. It never got dark. The many events that I've ran on it, I loved, because you could always, whatever event you were doing, you could always count on it to be daylight the entire time. However, back in 3.12, they went ahead and started that rotation of Magda, so it now has both a day-night cycle. One of the things I will tell you is, if you have not seen one of the most beautiful sunsets in the Stanton system, Magda's sort of greenish hued purple sun, spectrum change is absolutely gorgeous. It really is. Now that they have this planet rotating like it should, the night times are pretty dark, and Magda has a low gravity, which means as you're jumping, you can get some really great air. But with these vehicles, as you've heard me maybe say before, you have to worry about friction. It's all about friction. If your tires are not touching something, they're not grabbing. If they're not grabbing, you're not getting, you're not getting forward momentum other than whatever you got off the jump. So some people will hit things as hard as they can and get that air, hoping to jump over a mountaintop or two and really make use of that low gravity, while other people will do sort of the tortoise and the hare. They'll slow down and sort of pick their path so that they can keep those tires on that, on the Terra as often as possible to make sure they keep up that speed. So it's really going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, really quick here, right? So I believe after checkpoint 1, you get, we're going to have a taste of both biomes, right, on Magda. You talked a little bit about, just that blue hue that the planet has, overall. And we're, as you see from checkpoint 1 to the finish line, you guys are going to get to see that beautiful blue terrain that Magda has to offer, while in the beginning you're getting a little bit of more of that ground, regular dirt terrain. But, I think this race is going to be fantastic. I think not only we're going to get good racing, we're also going to get some good views. And I'm totally looking forward to this because I think Magda in general is probably one of the most funnest places for racers to just kind of enjoy the events, right? Hurston, Hurlocker, all these other races that are out there. So Magda is definitely one of those pillars where people definitely like to race at Blood Eagle.
It is a lot of fun to just, if you ever get a chance, no matter what it is, whether or not it is a Nox or a Dragonfly, any one of the Cyclones, and goodness knows we've got quite a few, or even a Rover if you just want something a little bit more beefy. If you get a chance, go to Magda, stop off at Pearl, grab yourself a vehicle of some sort, pick any direction you want, and just go. It really is a very exciting, fun ride to just kind of move across that landscape. And I think it's because of the gravity that we have on Magda that makes it such a joy to just drive across.
Yeah, so right now we're looking at 119 kilometers, which is going to be a bit of, I'm going to say about an 80-minute race here, ladies and gentlemen, if there's nothing going on, if there's no, explosions, but it could be a little bit longer. But as we said, as soon as the racers start, they have 2 hours to get as far as they can, ladies and gentlemen. And then, it's going to be a tough one because we have a lot of teams right now, Blood Eagle, that are very, very, very close to each other. And, we got Team Oro right now with 12 points on top of the leaderboard. We got Team, I believe it's Team Nova and Vora right now, tied in with 9 points each in second and third place right now. So, these teams, anything could happen today, right? If Oro doesn't, live up to their name and get another first place finish or second place finish or third place finish, they can drop down, leaving Vora and Nova and even Roguestar, taking a first or second place spot in the leaderboard and finishing the Tour de Verse today, which is, it's definitely still anybody's game that it's currently in the top 4, Blood Eagle.
Yeah, it's kind of cool in a way because instead of the one team, insert name here, being so far ahead that nobody else feels like they even have a chance, we're in a position on this final race where everybody has that, that chance to show off and really do good for themselves. And I think that because this is the final race, that's really going to bring out the competitive spirit in everybody. I really think that all 6 teams are going to be on their top game today, making sure that those scout ships are, leading them through the best way, which is why I believe, I think we will see somebody. I think we honestly will see somebody take that more flat route around. At least I hope, because I'd like to see the difference as far as the time versus the, going over the hills and the mountains and really see what that's going to change.
So let's go ahead and introduce our teams here pretty soon. But before we introduce our teams, we got a new video by Zark Media, who has been really covering, the Tour de Verse overall in a great and fashionable way. So we're going to go ahead and switch over to that video, and we will be right back to introduce our 6 teams of the final stage of Tour de Verse. We'll be right back.
I'm Oliver Zark, and you're watching Stanton Today News covering Tour de Verse. The teams have faced unforgiving nature, each other, and even possible sabotaging what has so far been an eventful but frustrating competition. I've spent a week meeting with the different teams, and we'll check that out. But first, let's bring you up to speed with last week's race.
Oh, man, this is happening right now. Damn, they just just went straight
Yeah.
down the mountain. Is WTTC running on foot now? Damn, you got Rockstar Justice. My gosh, Team Oro killed the driver.
Yep.
Team Orange, Rose Corp, your first winner today.
In stage 3, we hope to achieve that. We will be able to show what we're worth.
We know it's going to be a challenge. The first 2 legs have also been quite the challenge. We're expecting the same from the 3rd leg.
And I think as long as we can win a stage, we'll feel like we've done well. So
Yeah.
we got a good start on the stage 2 and then got hit by a host of problems. So
Yes, indeed. I opened the door to the loading bay. It was complete chaos. It was inferno in the loading bay. So I pushed one of the RCs out, dropped it down to the planet, and had to go to the ICU.
there's definitely been some new strategies deployed by a few teams, and we've learned from that. And I think our team will be taking some of that on board.
And we've enjoyed seeing the other players advancing and scratching our heads at how they were able to do so well while we struggled so hard. But it was not so much frustration about our position as it was about the Cyclones and their poor performance.
After 5.5 hours of racing, we were very tired. We had issues with the Cyclones, and then we had issues with our Carrack as well. And
Everything was running well until things went a bit.
Okay, so next up we are on team introductions.
we'd
Yep,
love to get
we're gonna
at
go
least,
You want to do a
teams stage 3.
little, just go through their story a tiny bit?
We
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
make
just
the stage
summarizing.
again, so
Okay.
I'm
Real
gonna
low
do
for
one and then you do one.
it's very unlike our team.
So I'm really looking forward to seeing who our winners are going to be. Super excited.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, as we are getting still ready here for our 6, competitors or teams. We're going to go ahead and go over these teams right now. Obviously, we're going to start off with Team Nova. Team Nova so far, again, in that 2nd place spot, holding against Team Vora, Voltic Rain. In stage 1, they came in 3rd place with 4 points. And then in 2nd place, Team Nova came in 2nd place in stage 2 with 5 points, tying them with Team Vora with 9 points overall. But Nova, an incredible, one of the biggest orgs in Star Citizen right now, 4,900 members. They're definitely here to hopefully take 1st place. That is what they want to do, I'm pretty sure. So we'll see if Team Oro, I'm not trying to, say anything bad, but if Team Oro doesn't bring it today, I feel like Team Nova definitely will aim to take that 1st place spot. So Team Nova, best of luck in today's race. And today's drivers are going to be Hast 50. We got Malachi for our 2 drivers today. And then we got, for our scouts, we got Palantine Peter for Team Nova. And then Dragon Rabbit for Team Nova as well. And these guys are from Switzerland, Hungary, and the USA. Team Nova is definitely tied for 2nd and 3rd place right now. And hopefully they can bring it today and maybe even take 1st place. Who knows? What's our next team coming up here, Blood Eagle?
Thank you, Crucian. So our 2nd team is the Underdogs, the guys who have never raced before this particular event. We have got Team Oro. Team Oro stands for Orange Rose Corp, and they are a Dutch-speaking organization. They're not as big as Nova. In fact, they usually only range about 91 people. They do lawful stuff. They're very, very tight-knit. They actually get together in real life to do barbecues and get together and have drinks and have fun with one another. They've been around since 2016, and they also run a lot of Dutch bar citizens in Uricht, which is kind of cool. Today, our team that will be comprising Oro is Swift Omnium as our driver, Captain Roscoe as our co-driver, Kat Navito as our scout pilot, and Edison Trent as our co-scout pilot. They were the very first place in stage 1, and through everything, we're able to pull out the 1st place in stage 2. That gives them a total of 12 points going into stage 3. They are currently the favorites as far as winning the whole thing. Now, obviously, we know that lots of things could actually happen in this race. We may see an upset there. Our guys today are 3 of them are from Belgium, and 1 of them is from the Netherlands, because having some diversity is good for them. Crucian, who's our next team that we've got up?
So one quick about Team Aura, right? If you guys want to, if you guys are Dutch yourselves, I got to say, man, this looks like a great group that, to kind of get together and play some Star Citizen. So if you're from the Netherlands and you're Dutch, man, maybe it's a good thing to reach out to, Orange Rose Corp. And if you want to, get together and play with like-minded people from, from the Netherlands that you guys can play together, reach out to them because I'm pretty sure they would be, happy to have more people from their area and more people that can come visit their bar citizens. But our next team right now, we got a Rogue Star. I actually love that name a lot, Rogue Star. But anyways, another lawful org. They have a lot of different disciplines in this org. But we got a great team here, and Rogue Star coming in 4th place in Stage 1 and Stage 2. So they have a total of 6 points. And I'm not going to leave them out because if they could take a 1st place or 2nd place spot, that could cement them in a 2nd and 3rd place spot to finish Stage 3 out here on Tour de Verse. So, but their drivers and their captain, we got Dragonfly. So best of luck to you guys at Rogue Star. We got Commander Woody as their co-driver as well. We got Stoof. Hopefully I said that right, as their scout driver. And then we got Leo Zanders. So, Rogue Star, again, something that I have done with them, they like to really collaborate and organize events with other orgs and kind of doing these missions and VIP and protective VIP. I've actually participated with them. Definitely a great group of guys, all the way from some, I believe, Dragonfly, Commander Woody, and stuff is from Belgium. And then we got Leo Zender from the Netherlands. So definitely a great group of guys. Best of luck to you guys. And let's go ahead and take it over to the other team, Bloody.
Thanks, Crucian. Yeah, our next team is actually Team Vora, or Voltic Rain. Team Voltic Rain is a small German organization. They only run about 70 players. They're very, very prolific in the racing circuit. They started out after seeing the DMR Rally. They've been in almost every single thing that Atmo Esports runs. They have not one team, but they run multiple teams, sometimes up to 3 teams in one event that we have, which is really, really cool. They actually run from Germany, as I stated. Today, we're going to actually have Con Solo as our driver, Konar as our other driver, Graupunkt, who actually raced last night in one of the Atmo Esports events, as our scout pilot, and Dragon Ripper as our other scout pilot. These guys, they love to get together and work on trying to keep their organization doing many different things. So they love prospecting and trading. They do fighting, races, interviews. I mean, they just enjoy getting into the game.
Yes.
And really getting deep into it. They are currently in our 2nd place position along with Team Nova in the fact that they actually won 2nd place in the 1st stage, getting 5 points there, and they won 3rd place in the 2nd stage with a total of 4 points. Now that puts them at 9 points, and they are ready to come today and try to upset Oro, knock them on their heels, and take that 1st place. And all we can do is wish them luck.
Yep, we can wish them some luck, and a great team, forming up after the whole Daymar Rally stuff. So which is great to see. We see a lot of orgs form around some events, and I'm really happy to see you got Sace, you got a lot of other people doing a lot of different racing events out there that are forming these orgs, just for racing overall, which I think is great. But I know we got, Theaters of War coming out here, hopefully in the next, in the near future, where we can get some much needed PvP action in Star Citizen. So, but our next team here, World Traveling Trading Circus, and these 2 teams in the first 2 stages, it's an unfortunate, luck, but they ran out of vehicles. They didn't get extra scout ships, but coming in last place in the last 2 stages, they're still here. They're still wanting to get 1st place. I would come in with the attitude regardless, because if they can get a good placement and other teams can't, is it still a possibility that World Traveling Trading Circus can still get on that top 3 leaderboard if if everything works out the way it works out. So. Best of luck to World Traveling Trading Circus. Best of luck to you guys. I hope you guys can come out with a win today. That would be fantastic. All right. So whether you're at the end of the leaderboard, and whether you're at the top, you should be wanting to race to win no matter what. So, anyways, take it away for our last team here, Blood.
So something that most people may not know about WTTC is, I mean, I know that it's been a long time since we've really come from Earth, and the whole circus thing is a little odd for people. But World Trade, WTTC actually has a bear on a unicycle. They confirmed it. We talked about it. I think it was the first stage. So you don't see that kind of stuff very much anymore. Those types of things are kind of hush hush, but it's kind of cool to see them have that. Our last team of the day is UEMC. Team UEMC stands for United Earth Mining Corporation, and that's pretty much all you need to know about them. UEMC is a very, very simple organization that knows that their team quote is very, very simple. We mine and we know things. And I mean, that's it. I mean, do you really need to know anything else about them other than the fact that in Stage 3, our driver is going to be Tessa D, and our co-driver is going to be Asmodian, with Lockup's Double Ott as our scout pilot and Pixel Eats as our co-scout pilot. Now, UEMC kind of threw us for a loop in that first stage in the fact that we had 5 teams all running with Cyclone RCs. And then we had Team UEMC, who ended up coming out of the gate with a Cyclone TR, and then switched to a Cyclone RN, and we never saw them bring out an RC, and we thought at the time that maybe it was a detriment to them, but we weren't sure because there was a lot of RC crashes and blow-ups. Yeah. When we got to Stage 2, Team UEMC ended up bringing out RCs like everybody else. Unfortunately, all of our teams across the board, no matter how hard they worked, everybody had the same problems during Stage 2 with the minefield that was laid underneath the snow, on the way to New Babbage. So this time here, by looking at it, it looks like everybody is running with RCs, except for, I believe, the only ones that are not on the field right now is UEMC. So I'm looking forward to see whether or not, when they land and pop out that vehicle, are they going to come out with an RC today, or do you think they're going to bring out something different, Christian?
I think they're all going to come out with an RC. I think RCs knows that the speed of it, especially with low gravity RCs, and it seems like they're all right there together right now. All 6 teams are about to get ready to race. But let's talk about, prizes, man. This is something that we haven't really revealed all day long, but I know we're going to have some prizes here for first place, ladies and gentlemen. It should be popping up here on the screen here in a second. But for first place, we have a model of a Cyclone of Turdiverse. It's going to be a 3D printed model right there. And then first place, they're going to win a Sons of Century pack. All of these drivers can get on that Rangers that hopefully, I want to say they're coming soon, man. It's like they're on the board. I want to say those vehicles are on the roadmap. You just can't see them yet. I hope to see them by the end of the year. Maybe they'll surprise us or something, but I'm definitely looking forward to the Rangers. Some of my favorite vehicles out there. But then you got second place, who are going to be winning some G12 vehicles as well. So we got some first and incredible second place prizes. And then that 3D printed model, Blood Eagle, you can hold that up and say, look, I won the inaugural season of Tourdiverse. So what do you think about the prizes so far?
Well, the very cool thing about the first place prize is the fact that every person on the team gets one of those 3D printed Cyclones, which is really, really neat.
Yep.
And as you know, I ride a motorcycle in real life myself and have for the last 35 years. And I really, really want the Rangers to come out so bad. In fact, I think when the Rangers come out, I may forget that Star Citizen even has a space game. And you may just find me parked on a planet somewhere, maybe somewhere like Magda, just running those Rangers every chance I get, because those things are going to be fun, and I cannot wait for them. But let's not put down that second prize though. I myself am an Origin fan. I own one of every single thing Origin makes. I'm also looking forward to all 3 of my G12s, and from everything we've seen so far, that G12 racer is going to be. It's odd because I've heard conflicting reports that it is called a rover, and it's almost the size of a rover, but it's not. It's a little bit smaller, so it's almost the size of a buggy. We're not sure yet whether or not it's as fast as a buggy. So I'm not sure if these quote unquote rovers are going to open up a different new division with lots of people, or whether or not it's going to end up being more of a we're just going to include it with the Cyclones, or we're going to include it with the other rovers. And I'm looking forward to that because it is a very cool looking piece of equipment, and I'm looking forward to that one as well. I don't care which one comes. No, actually, that's not true. I want the Rangers first, but I want the G12s right after that. But I want the Rangers first.
I honestly, I mean, like, if Rangers come out, I'll be happy. But at the same time, is like, what terrain will this be easier to race on? Can we get some type of like highway on our corp that we can just take these Rangers and just, you know, have a good like in-game, like I'm gonna say I want a good 50 kilometers of just, you know, of just 50 kilometers of just racing down our corp, down, you know, the same way where you're taking these trains and you see the vehicles at the bottom and you see the ships flying. I just want to have just a straight line of just maximum speed on these Rangers where nobody, where we can make an insane course of it, man. It would be so much fun. But I know that the Stanton, everybody thinks that Stanton is completed yet, right? We're gonna get a Rice in here pretty soon. Stanton is not even far from completed. There's still roads they have to put in. There's still small little things they have to put in around Stanton. Plants, you know, animals. There's still outposts, right? There's only I think Magda only has like 2 outposts right now. So there's so many small things that they have to finish. So I cannot wait for every single thing to actually be out there and be completed so far. But let's go over. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say it is gonna be really cool because everybody's waiting for the next system. When is Pyro coming? Yeah. When is Nyx coming? When is Terra coming? We want another system. We want another system. Me, I'm kind of with you. You know, we've been able over the last 8 years or 7 years, I should probably say, we've been able to create so much content in this and as yet unfinished system. I mean, we've got the Aaron Halo up, and we don't even have the ability yet to not pass through the Aaron Halo. Wait till those gates come up, and you have to, navigate through that asteroid field just to get out to, Microtech. I mean, there's so many cool things coming to Stanton that, like you, I think are going to elevate all of these different events we make now, whether or not they be PvP or racing or on-foot FPS, or, flying or whatever. There's so many things coming to the Stanton system, and now Turbulence got that team, and their team, before they start actually building entire solar systems, the very first thing they're supposed to do is flesh this whole thing out and get it all looking better. Like you said, we've got roads coming to a lot of these moons and stuff. I'm wondering, what are these roads going to be like? Are they just going to be polished, nice, smooth areas of the ground, like dirt roads that we have here on Earth? Or are they going to be, actual paved, stretches of just go-go.
Who knows? Who knows?
And those types of things are going to be really cool, and I can't wait to see some of that stuff. I really can't.
So we're currently, ladies and gentlemen, we're currently waiting for one more co-driver, and then we should be able to get the Tortiverse, the final stage started here today to see who we're going to crown our winner. There's still a lot of teams that, currently right now can take first place. Oro with a huge lead, though, with 12 points ahead of the pack. So we'll see how they do today. I think let's get some predictions here, Blood Eagle, because I feel like I said it last time. I doubted Oro a little bit there. I said it last time. I said I'm hoping that, some teams take over, but I feel like Oro's resilience is right there. I feel like their resilience is very, very strong. I feel like Oro today will end up getting at least top 2. But I feel like some teams are going to step up, but I think Oro, has that mentality, has that confidence to kind of win today. So how are you feeling about these teams today, Blood Eagle?
So as broadcasters, we're not allowed to be biased. We have to be neutral parties, and we have to say we hope every single team wins. We hope every single team gets first. We root for every team. I myself, I love seeing the underdogs of Oro come out first in the first stage and the second stage. I thought that was really cool. I work with Nova from time to time on their esports events. So, at broadcasting for them. So they're friends of mine. I really want them to do good. Voltic Rain has been involved in many Atmo events, so I really want them to do good. I know the folks in Roguestar. I mean, all 6 of the teams are amazing people, and they come from all over the world, different backgrounds, coming together to do this one thing that they all love, which is racing. So my prediction is I'm gonna go the cowards right out. My prediction is that the best team will win. That's where I'm gonna go.
The car is way out. Hey, man, sometimes these predictions will help, man. You got to get these predictions out there. And, it's not about favorites. It's about who you think and your experience of watching all these races from stage 1 and stage 2. and see who you think is going to take the win. But before
if you're going to hold me to that,
yeah,
I'm going to have to say Oro. I'm going to have to say Oro's got it. I really am. They really did good.
So, yep. So, anyways, before we continue, before we start the race, where we're about to start here pretty soon, we got to give a shout out to our security team. We got Walkers of Sigma, showing us some love here and keeping us safe while we have this race on Magda going. And we got a nice little trailer here from Walkers of Sigma for you guys to check out. We'll be right back. Anyways, a great video there by from Walkers of Sigma, actually edited by our own here, Enigmatic man. I love you. I hope you're doing well today. So you better give me some camera angles out there, and you better stop crashing your desktop because I'm gonna be pissed. All right, so make sure you get your shit fixed, man. But also Javelin as well, who is providing us security. Shouts to them. And it seems like we're ready to go, Blood Eagle. I mean, we're about to get this started, and we're gonna get it started at night. So. I guess we'll take a look, and we'll see once we see the shafts ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. The race is going to start. So best of luck to all teams.
And we are going to be starting this in the nighttime, so you guys are going to see some darkness. You're really going to see these ships casting light down. The scout ships are going to be casting light down for their racers. Yep. I'm wondering whether or not they all stick close together and kind of move the same route, or if we start seeing them split up. It'll be interesting either way. I'm definitely looking forward to what we're about to see, and I know that we are prepared to go, actually.
Yeah, we're not doing any countdowns today. They're just going to go ahead and start, and you guys should be able to see right now some good views here from Smell of Napalm getting us the shot as soon as the race starts in about 3 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. So once that shaft goes off, racers, best of luck, because it's pedal to the metal.
I always love the starting line takeoff when that happens. And there goes our chaff. Everybody's off. We've got the racers moving. Boy, somebody went right off the bat, just hit that boost and took off. That is a heck of a jump.
Yeah, you gotta love those jumps. It's starting off from inside the crater. But remember, man, Magda has that low gravity, so they have to be really, really careful on hitting these rocks and actually holding left or right too much, because if not, as you guys can see, UEMC was already flipping in the air. So you have to stay stable, you have to stay straight, and you got to dodge these rocks while you're jumping in the air, because anything could happen and you could lose a vehicle right away.
I'll tell you, Crucian, when your wheels leave the ground, if you are perfectly straight, you will go straight and you will come down perfectly straight. But if you have started any sort of a turn at all, your vehicle, once you hit that air, because of that low gravity, is just going to keep that movement. It's just going to keep on turning, which means when you come down, you could be facing the opposite direction you were going. You could be facing off to one side. You may hit a rock and bounce off. It can really rattle you as a racer or a driver, because all of a sudden you're not sure exactly which way you're supposed to be turning. And you'll see that a lot out here, as rocky as this place is.
Yeah, so as you guys know, throughout the race, we're going to be updating you guys. We do have a kilometer leaderboard that will show you guys how far these teams are from the checkpoint 1, how far these teams are from the finish line. So we will keep you guys as updated as we can. As you guys can see above, you guys see most of the teams are all right next to each other. If you can see teams that are spread out usually during the race, right, it doesn't matter. Once we start seeing a gap of like 5 kilometers or more, where they're usually around a few seconds ahead, that's when we'll start seeing teams, give that better gap during this race. So it's definitely going to be a very close one. I think Magda is very, very stable for these vehicles right now, Blood Eagle, and we should be able to see a closer race from that we've seen in Stage 1 and Stage 2.
That was a nice jump that Team Vora or Voltic Rain made there just a moment ago. It's really cool to see these camera angles from the driver's perspective as they do some of these amazing jumps. You get to really see how the vehicles handle the landings. You get to see the shocks kind of moving as it absorbs the impact. It's a testament to what these manufacturers are able to do with the current tech that we have out here on the surface of Magda. And you can really tell the way the drivers handle their vehicles, where that skill lies in attempting to navigate without ending up, blowing up, of course.
Yeah, this terrain right now where we're seeing Team Nova currently is it's not even very hilly. You just see a lot of these rocks, and Team Nova has to be careful, right? Use the jumps to your advantage, use the low gravity, and try to fly over as many rocks as you can, and try to skip over all, this whole terrain, and just do your best to kind of get in that lead. We see a lot of teams that started off the race to the west. You see a lot of teams that started, going towards the east and trying to go under and up and under or over and above. So I'm excited to see which team is going to be the first one at the checkpoint, but I think all these teams are still very close to each other right now, Blood Eagle.
We were just watching Team Nova a moment ago, and remember I was talking earlier about when you make that jump, if your wheels are turned, your vehicle's going to turn in midair. I was very impressed with whoever's driving for Team Nova, because when they came down facing 180 degrees, and instead of trying to turn around, they just kept on going backwards and did a J-turn in the middle of going backwards to take off going forward again. That was very impressive. That's that skill I was telling you about right there, is you could really see the skill of some of these drivers. I mean, why why go opposite the direction you're trying to when you just keep going backwards? I think we've actually seen somebody once drive backwards for a couple of kilometers during the middle of a race that we were both in.
Yeah, I kind of don't remember that one, but yeah, driving backwards, man, that takes some skill, man. But, right now, as you can see, most teams having that scout ship as a carrack. You guys already know that the Hercules is out, so once that goes to live, you guys are going to see a lot of Hercules out there because they can hold a lot of vehicles. I mean, I haven't tried it out yet, Blood Eagle, but I'm pretty sure that that Hercules, that C2 Hercules can probably hold close to maybe 12 vehicles, maybe 15, because I saw somebody put three Nova tanks in there, so that's a lot of space, man. And I'm looking forward to seeing that ship in the future.
Yeah, we actually had a member of Nova Syndicate with Exiles actually last night do some tests, and they were able to put, what was that? I think it was 12. Oh, man, I'm trying to remember what it was now. I think it was 12 Cyclones, 3...
Oh, wow.
3... what the heck are they? Bikes and 2 Rovers inside of one C2.
Are you talking about the Noxes?
Yeah, I think it was 2 or 3 Noxes.
Wow.
8 or 12 Cyclones, and I'm trying to find it now on one of my things here, but it was very, very interesting to see how they'd set it up. I've also heard of people being able to put 6 Nova tanks inside of a C2 by parking them sideways and being able to get 6 in there at once.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible to finally get the C2 out there. Obviously, we got Invictus Week coming along here on May 21st to June 1st. So right now they're doing a lot of testing. So right now in the PTU, you're able to see the Bengal carrier, you're able to see the Javelin Tour, a lot of incredible content that they're coming out with for Invictus Week. But as we continue here, we got Team Vora, who's doing a great job getting that flat land and not worrying about a thing, and hopefully getting a massive jump here and passing a lot of rocks. Very great
gorgeous
jump by Vora, and they're going to be able to land this and continue moving forward, and this is the kind of racing you want to see, and this is how you want to pretty much jump and land today.
That is a perfect flat straight jump they just did right there. And if you noticed, it almost as if the land was designed for it. They took off at the top of that hill and were able to come back down on an opposite incline, which allowed them to just keep on driving. Oh, look at that jump. That is Team Oro right there, who is favored to be our winner possibly today. We'll have to see what happens. And they just took one heck of a jump, landing flat-footed, which has allowed them to just keep on moving. If you notice, we've got quite a few rocks out there, but the terrain isn't so bad yet. The terrain it's a little bit hilly. I mean, that's what happens when you've got all this happening. I think our leaderboard is actually set up right now and ready to go, so we can sort of see where these teams are at. And if you notice, Team Oro, who was favored to be in first place, is 2 kilometers behind Voltic Rain. Voltic Rain being in the lead at this exact moment in time, which is pretty awesome. Team RS is bringing up the back there about 4 kilometers behind, which means that this is still a very, very tight, very close race.
So
and
close,
could
yep.
anybody could be in that first spot at any point in time, which is great. I love to see it.
Yeah, I feel right now like if any team, the first team that currently explodes is going to lose a lot of momentum and a lot of time. So I think
Agreed.
that, Magda is doing a great job at making sure these vehicles are staying steady, making sure these vehicles are not taking too much damage. But, if I was their scout ship, I would be watching, the vehicle's integrity here and there. I would be making sure that, hey, the vehicle is not about to explode. That way, I preemptive strike that vehicle exploded. I communicate with my driver. I come down and I'm like, look, let's switch out. Your vehicle hull is not doing really, really great right now. Let's go ahead and swap you out right now so you can continue with a strong finish.
Yeah, this week, both ISC and Star Citizen Live was all about the scanning and the pinging and the radar, and we're getting some better scanning capabilities than we have right now. That must have hurt that engine a little bit. We're getting some better scanning capabilities than we have right now, but all of our scout ships have the ability to point down at their driver and be able to see exactly how much hull damage they've taken so far. When that thing starts getting around 78, 79%, I would start talking about where do you want me to stop, so we can go ahead and replace, because you're getting a little bit close.
Yeah, I find it interesting. Here we go, WTTC kind of driving in a third-person stage. And, like in Star Citizen in general, when I race or I drive vehicles or I drive, grab lift vehicles as well, I'm always in third person. So, like, I find it so interesting that, people do find it, a little bit of advantageous to kind of, get in third person and make sure you see things that you don't normally see as you're in third person and zoomed out a lot further out. So, but great job to WTTC. They're doing very, very well on track. And we got Team Nova here, who's about to get a nice jump here over these rocks and get a great view here. Pessimok, thank you so much for that view. Much appreciated.
That's
and
gorgeous.
It seems like it seems like all teams, nothing that has happened so far. All teams are racing to their best of their ability, and the race is looking great so far, Blood Eagle.
Yeah, it's nice to see. It's nice to see our teams out there and nobody just spontaneously exploding. It really is. It makes for a better race. I'm not gonna lie. Everybody loves to go to these types of events to see the people that die and explode and break up and shoot each other. But it is kind of nice every once in a while to come to a racing event and actually see people just race. So I'm really glad that the vehicles are doing so much better on Magda. Good job on the organizers. Decision to move it over to Magda from New Babbage. New Babbage is a beautiful place. Microtech is a beautiful place, but at least this time we actually get to see racing and not so much frustration on the driver's part, which is good for them.
Yep, right now you see UEMC on the tracks, and they're going very, very, very well here. Let's take a quick look at the map. So if those of you guys that are currently joining us right now, we're going to kind of update you guys on the map so you guys can understand what the route is today. So if we can get the map up here on the screen, that would be fantastic. But UEMC looking great so far. But as you guys can see on the map, they started from inside the LM81 Bravo crater, and then they're going straight to checkpoint 1, which is another crater in the blue biome on Magda, which then after that checkpoint 1, they have to go in and check in with the Cutlass Red that's going to be there. They're going to be about 56 kilometers away from the finish line, heading over to finish in Mount Philippa, where they'll meet the 890 jump, where they have to go in and finish the race and claim victory on stage 3 of Tour de Verse.
And everybody wants that Pico prize. That Pico prize is kind of the big deal. First ones to get there, get that Pico. The referee hands it to them, and they're good to go. So they want to definitely be in a position to be the first ones there to get that sucker. We're watching UEMC right now as they are moving across the landscape. I'm kind of surprised to see these scout ships not providing as much light as I expected. I would be, if I was the scout pilot, especially as bright as the lights are on the Carrack, I would be probably 200 meters above that, above that cyclone, lighting up everything in front of them nice and bright like it was daylight. Because they
honestly,
can definitely use
I wouldn't even want to use my own lighting right now. I would let just the scout ship ride. The Carrack has great lighting in front. I would just let him do it or, you know, there's ways for you to actually race at night in game. You can go to the settings, you can raise your gamma up and just get, you know, it's going to look funny, but you should be able to, you know, get that gamma up and have no problem racing at night without the light at all. So, you know, I would just let my scout ship, you know, lead the way with lighting, because I feel like when you turn on your light on your vehicle, Blood Eagle, you kind of like, you kind of not see stuff a little bit further out, unless you get a lot closer to it. But as to where you have the light-offs on your Cyclone RC, you're able to see a lot more, in my opinion. But, you know, they're racing, they're doing well, so let's see how they're continuing to do it.
Yeah, that has actually been my experience as well, as somebody who suffers from eye problems. Light bothers me. When I turn off the lights, everything seems to get brighter, like the entirety of what I'm looking at. I personally do not touch gamma because I feel that it takes away from the desired intent of the developers and what you're supposed to see. I'd much rather get my light from an external source like the Carrack behind me or even my own vehicle. But you do have a good point as somebody who's raced in these things. When you have the lights on in that Cyclone, you tend to focus on what the Cyclone lights can see, and that is only 20 yards in front of you or 40 yards in front of you, which leaves all the stuff beyond that sort of blinded to you until you get up on it. So you don't get a chance to plan ahead of time. Whereas, like you said, if you turn it all off, as long as you can sort of see the horizon behind everything, you're exactly correct. You get that ability to sort of suss out everything in front of you.
Yeah, so right now, chat, if you guys have a team that you're rooting for, show them some love in chat. Let's get some cheers on for these teams. We got Nova, we got Vora, we got all these incredible teams, WTTC, UEMC. Show them some love in chat, and let's take a quick look at the leaderboard to see where our teams are currently at and see how close they are from checkpoint number 1. As you can see, you got Team Vora, 97 kilometers already into the race. WTTC in second place. We got Team Nova in third place. So you got Team Roguestar right now in fourth. And fifth place, we got Team Oro, which is a surprise. But again, these guys are probably a lot more spread out than you think. So it still is anybody's race. They're honestly probably 45 seconds or maybe a minute and a half away from each other. If you explode, if anything happens at that point, that could cost you the race. So right now, if Vora, WTCC, and Nova continue up, continue stabilizing themselves in this race in the positions they're in, is going to make for a very, very exciting finish of the final stage of Tour de Verse, Blood Eagle.
And as you can see, Crucian, it looks like Team Nova has come up against those mountains finally. They have finally gotten out of the brown Terra and meeting with that blue sort of mountainous area. And as you can see, they're stopping very, very quickly there because they're now facing that uphill battle, and it's going to cost them. There's only a 6-kilometer difference between our first place and our last place competitor, which is not very much at all in a vehicle as fast as the Cyclone RC. So all of these folks, if they all decide to go through these mountainous areas, this is where the scout ship is going to be key. This is where the scout ship is going to really take and separate your leader from your last place, because if you've got somebody good in that as a pilot in that scout ship, and they are, look at that jump from Nova. We're going to see how this comes down because it looks like they're going to skip off a rock.
Oh,
they
man.
got
I hope there don't see no explosions here. Hopefully no wheels lost. Very, very possibly damaging jump there for Nova. So they're going to be able to at least get out of there. But this is definitely a rough terrain, Blood Eagle. And, you know, I feel like maybe they're not communicating well enough with the scout ships. I don't want to leave that out, but the scout ship needs to let them know, hey, go around this area, kind of go ahead of that racer and use the scout ship to your ability so you can find a better way to kind of path yourself in this race.
Yeah, if you jump here, you're going to probably hit a rock on the other side. Maybe you should go to the right and crest that hill slowly. Don't take the jump because we can't predict where you're going to come down at. Okay, no problem, scout ship. I got you. I'll slow down here. Yep. Am I good to go? Yes, take that jump. There's nothing on the other side except for flat ground. Hit that jump as hard as you can. Use your boost. You know, knock yourself forward. Okay, scout ship, I got you. That communication is key. You really need that communication with your scout ship, and they're very fortunate that they got scout ships in this race.
It seems like they got a line of sight of another team right in front of them with Team Nova here, and they're doing very, very good. After that, you know, that mountain terrain there, they found a nice flat ground, and boom, their first explosion here.
There
Team Nova
went
going down,
Nova.
losing some time, and that possibly put them in that last place finish. that was unfortunate. That's what happens, Blood Eagle, when you get so many
Exactly.
rocks in the mountains. Dang, man, that's unfortunate for them. But they're gonna have to quickly switch out. They're gonna be spawning on their medical ships in the Carrack, and they're gonna be able to continue the race ASAP.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to see them run headfirst into that rock. Now we're watching WTTC, and we will see whether or not they are, whether or not they have the exact same problem of running into that stuff or not.
Yeah, that was that moment, Blood Eagle, where they need to be like, hey, I just went down a rock. I just slammed into a rock. Can you, scout ship, can you let me know what my hull damage is? Do we need to switch out? There's like, you think it's just racing a Star Citizen. You have to take in consideration so many factors. Your hull damage, your vehicle damage, your scout ship, where you're going. You guys need to have that coordination and talk a little bit more and communicate a little bit more as a team, so that way things like this does not happen. Great jump there by WTTC.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It is a good way of taking into the air and coming back down on your wheels and not hitting a rock or hitting in the center or blowing that engine and having to, be in a position where you've got to have your scout ship land, pull out another vehicle, respawn. As you said, all of that takes time. That time takes away from you being able to continue moving.
Yes.
I would rather move a little bit slower and a little bit more careful and not lose that 40 seconds to a minute and a half, possibly even 2 or 3 minutes, if Star Citizen has any problems, then I would just be a tiny bit slower and a little bit more careful.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there, because that was unfortunate. Like, after that whole hill climb or downhill from Nova, after the hill up, like, they should have noticed, like, hey, that definitely gave WTTC some damage there. And again, these are the moments that you need to be like, hey, scout ship, what is my hull vehicle at? I just smacked into a rock. Do we need to switch or not? That should be the scout ship's role. The scout ship is so imperative to a team, man. Scouting ahead of you, hull damage, everything. So, this is why I love racing in Star Citizen, man. It's just, you can't just go to a pit crew and change your wheels out, right? You need to change the whole vehicle out. I mean, sooner or later, you'll want to have a pit crew once, repairs in game and refueling. But this is good. This race is going absolutely fantastic so far. Only one explosion so far in the first 15, 20 minutes of the race, and
Which is
we'll
not
take
bad.
well, yeah, it's not bad at all. And Blood Eagle, let's take a quick look at the leaderboard, and I'll let you go over that real quick.
So it looks like, due to Nova hitting that rock and exploding, it has indeed done exactly what Crucian had predicted and moved them to the last place. Now, don't get me wrong, there's still only, 7 kilometers between the first and the last place racers, which isn't a whole lot, as we stated before. However, we don't know if, that's a snapshot of where the racers were. So Nova could be, 90, still at 96, while everybody else is closer. So it could actually impact them as far as trying to get back up there, because they were doing very, very well for themselves. They were able to get up there. Currently in first place is Vora, or Voltic Rain, is our team leader, and they are doing a very, very good job of keeping a couple of kilometer lead over top of our second place, which is WTTC that we've been watching. They're doing a very great job. Everybody's kind of moving forward. Nobody's really falling 20 or 30 kilometers behind, and that speaks a lot to to where our race is at. I know, Crucian, much like myself, you enjoy a tight race much more than you do a clearly defined leader, and you don't ever get a chance to really talk about anything different. So it's kind of nice to see them all within that 7 kilometers. Anybody falling back more than 10 kilometers will start to get me worried a little bit. But when everybody's that close together still, I think that it still could be anybody's race, honestly.
I just feel like, when races are closer together, it definitely, puts things that, more interesting perspective than just having a team so far out that, like, hey, nobody's going to catch up to them. They're racing really, really well. But Vora right now continuing to take that lead and doing a great job. If Team Vora right now, if the stand-ins would finish right now, Blood Eagle, Team Vora would actually take 6 points and possibly taking that first place finish, or even tying themselves with Oro, who is currently in 4th place, because Oro right now would be in 4th place, getting, taking 3 points, which would put them at 15. And then that would put Vora at 15 points.
Yep.
And that's going to definitely make things super interesting and a huge dilemma here. So, but, the race is far from over yet. We've still got a lot of racing to go. Team Vora doing a great job moving forward. This is your time if you want it. All you got to do is stay steady.
You brought up a good point, Crucian. I'm not sure. I did not see anywhere in the rules what happens if we have 2 first place teams? Is there going to be a race off or something? Do we do a drag race? A fisticuff battle in a crater inside the middle of Magna somewhere to see who we... we got to figure out who the winner is somehow.
Well, I actually even, this is, sometimes in some racing rules, it depends on, say if Oro got more first place finishes than Team
Right.
Vora, then Team Oro would still become the winner, and then Team Vora would be in that second place spot right now. So that could be the case here, but, I'm sure officials, hopefully you guys have thought about that, and hopefully we can get an answer later down the line to see what happens if teams tie. Will their placements, put them in that first place because Oro got 2 first placements, or maybe, Blood Eagle, they would usually go their average placement as well, take all their average placements, because if Team Oro gets 4th, then I think their average placement overall would be a tiebreaker if they want to or not. So we'll see what happens, though. Still a lot of racing to go. Roguestar getting that massive, beautiful jump off one of the biggest cliffs in Magna right now, and boom, landing on their feet, doing a great job. Roguestar, you gotta use that boost as much as you can and clear as much terrain as you can, man, so you can continue to catch up here in today's race.
Yeah, anytime that you are on anything resembling ground with no rocks, you boost every time. Yeah, because you need that run. Look at Rockstar doing some nice skateboarding tricks in midair there as they come down and prepare to keep going. Yeah, that's not bad at all. You gotta forgive me, Crucian, if I still hope that the producers come back to us and say, don't worry, Blood, it will be fisticuffs at dawn in a crater in Magda. I'd still love to see that for first. That'd be a great way to end it.
We gotta do knives, or a battle of knives here, but man, and guys, again, we see a lot of people showing some love to Nova, to Oro. We got some UEMC fans in the channel, some WTTC fans in the channel. I gotta love the diversity of all these teams. You guys have your orgs behind you. You guys are in chat cheering them on. So let's see what team is gonna come out on top right now. The leaderboard is still looking pretty close to each other. There's some great racing so far that is taking place in Magna, but they're doing a great job right now. But Team Oro right now still behind, the top 4. So at any moment, if something happens, if any of these top 3 currently explode, Team Oro could really, really just easily grab first place no matter what. But I am loving this because Nova really picking it back up after that explosion, passing Team UMC and right behind Team Oro, Blood Eagle.
And we're still looking at a 7-kilometer difference between our first and our last place, which means the pack is moving together. Even though the places are changing inside of it, the pack has maintained that distance between first and last as they all move forward, which means, as you stated before, he who blows up is he who becomes last. So I think everybody needs to really be cautious about how they're running this, because I think it'll be a big difference between our first and place. Roguestar's doing pretty good there, and it looks like we're switching over to WTTC here in a second. And they are getting into a spot right now where they don't have as many rocks, but they're getting some hills. They've got to try to use that boost as often as they can. Look for those flat areas. Look for those places with no rocks the moment you get one of those boosts. Because you can't hold down that boost forever, but you can get little bursts to help you take jumps or to help you make up some time on flat areas.
This is so steep, and they're really just going as fast as they can up that hill to try to go around here. Maybe the scout ship told them that, but a big, massive, beautiful jump here from WTTC, landing in the flat terrain. Great job. They're definitely doing a great, great job controlling that in the air. They did got some bumps and bruises trying to go up that mountain. So, again, make sure you guys check your hull integrity. Make sure you guys don't blow up, because that will cause you some time, just like how it did for Nova.
Yeah, it's amazing how... It's amazing how much abuse these vehicles can take as they take some massive jumps on Magda. That jump that WTTC made just a moment ago really was the right call, because it allowed them to not jump one large group of rocks, but a second smaller group of rocks as well. And instead of trying to get up to the very crest and have to move around them, they were able to just bypass it all. But on the other hand, though, they could have come down in the middle of those, into another group of rocks, we've seen people flip over before. We've seen them land on their side and get wedged in between 2 rocks and not be able to move. So there's a lot of inconsistency to the terrain out there, especially because one of the beautiful things about Tour de Verse is you do not get to know the track ahead of time. You do not get a chance to practice the track ahead of time. You only learn the track the day of, which means that it really is truly all about driver skill in these particular cases. And I love it. I love the fact that these people have no idea where they're going till they show up at the start line getting ready to race. And then our organizers say, hey, here's a map. Check it out.
Oh,
And
no.
they're like, oh, crap. I didn't know this was coming. Yep. And that's, that's a bad
UEMC
space to be
stuck
in.
right there. Yep, that's
No
that's
doubt.
a rough spot right there. But hey, let's talk about race stage number 2 at Tour de Verse, man. This is night and day, Blood Eagle, because we have seen only one explosion in the past. Probably what? How long have we been live? We've been racing for possibly already about 45 minutes, maybe 30 minutes or so. We've only seen one explosion with Nova smacking into a rock. The servers are being, are blessing us today, giving us some very, very good racing today. And, there hasn't been much explosions, and this hasn't been, a landmine mayhem like stage number 2 of Tour de Verse. So, great race number 3 so far.
Yeah, Tour de Verse Stage 2 was unfortunately just an eyesore as far as the Tour de Verse, event goes. Only because, not because of the beauty of Microtech or the dedication of the racers, but just due to the way that I'm guessing maybe snow was very acidic to the hulls of vehicles and immediately ate through their engine casings, causing them to blow up, because there was a whole lot of explosions during that last stage. And this time we're seeing them take some abuse. We're seeing them hit some really good jumps, come down hard, and those cyclones are just, they're just dealing with it. They don't seem to have a problem. Like you said, the only explosion we've seen thus far happened only when Team Nova ran, full speed right directly into a rock, and that's the only thing that destroyed that vehicle. So that's great to see that they're having a much better time today.
Yeah, Team Nova getting a nice jump there, going over those flatland rocks. Let's take a quick look at the leaderboard so we can see where our teams are, even though they're probably about 7 kilometers away. There seems like they're getting very, very close to our checkpoint 1 here. Remember, the total race is 119 kilometers total, and it takes 63 kilometers to get to checkpoint 1. So they're about 20 kilometers away from checkpoint number 1, which is definitely we're getting closer there. But as you guys can see, Team Oro still holding it strong in 4th place. Vora definitely creating a bigger gap, but WTTC still doing a great job in 2nd place. Rockstar in 3rd, and you got Nova and UEMC really in the back there fighting for 5th and 6th place. But remember, Nova, Blood Eagle, who is currently tied with Team Vora in 2nd and 3rd place right now, they need to find their stride. They need to definitely go a little bit faster, because Team Vora right now, if they come out with a bigger lead, they can definitely secure this race here in stage 3 of Tour de Verse.
And that is a problem for Nova, is hitting that rock earlier.
So far, though, we're looking at Team Vora right now, who's currently leading the pack, already ahead, 75 kilometers already into the race, with only 20 kilometers to go to get to that checkpoint number 1. Team Vora definitely doing a great job at staying together and leading this race here in stage 3 of Tour de Verse.
Yeah, no doubt. Everybody is... Sorry, folks. Inside joke. Everybody is doing such a great job and really pushing hard to make that first spot. We've seen some really incredible jumps today. As you notice, the sky is getting a little bit lighter. I think we may end up being in daylight here very shortly.
Oh, yes.
Which I think will change oh, look, we've got 2 of them side by side. I don't know who that is next to WTTC, but we've actually got 2 racers that are fighting for position. And whoever that was, looks like they just passed WTTC and have now taken over their spot, that's awesome. I love seeing this sort of tight, this tight racing where everybody's jockeying for position, and you as a viewer get a chance to actually witness the action. So we still got Vora in 1st. WTTC is 2nd at 76 meters away. Nova is still, they've gotten that, up to that 5th place. Oh, it looks like RS just took over from Vora. Wow, look at that. That is happening live, folks, as you're watching the broadcast, and it's live for us too. We're seeing the same thing you are and reacting to the same thing. It looks like these teams are really battling for that first place position, which is great to see. It makes for some very enjoyable, watching. It really does.
Yeah, cameras, just to give you guys a little bit hint, when you guys see two teams together, make sure you guys go into third-person mode so we can kind of see a little bit of what these teams are. But I believe, Blood Eagle, that was actually WTTC and Roguestar. Roguestar actually passing WTTC, and WTTC having that tough time going up that hill. And then Roguestar says, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and pass you. We're going to take that second place spot because we're coming for you, Vora. So incredible racing so far. Everybody's doing great. We're getting some light side of Magda right now, and it's going to look beautiful with this blue biome on Magda, man, which is one of the most special things that you can see or take pictures of in Star Citizen. But we still have a long way to go. We still have, I believe, about 20 kilometers away from checkpoint number 1. But it seems like Team Vora is almost there. And look at this crater. This looks like a tough one for them.
Yeah, this is going to be very tough to navigate through because as you're coming over the crest of that ridge, you've got natural forming rocks all down the other side. And without your scout ship telling you where you're going to hit, as you take that jump, all you can do is just come down. And there's nothing you can do once you're in the air to change your trajectory other than we're hearing that we're hearing that UEMC just exploded, which makes that our second explosion of the race behind the first one that Nova had a little bit earlier. We're going to have to see in about 2 or 5 minutes exactly what that changes as far as the leaderboard goes, because if we're correct, that will now take UEMC and move them back to the back of the pack while they're unloading their new vehicle, getting out of the bed, popping off of their scout ship, which allows somebody else to come up, take their position, and keep moving forward.
Yeah, right now UEMC is taken is already pretty far back in currently in 6th place. The last time we look at the leaderboard, and right now that's just going to kind of leave them a gap. They can still continue going. It's just they need to kind of start communicating, guys. I keep saying communicating with the scout ship because it's so important for their races to communicate with the scout ship. Check on your vehicle's hulls every so often. If you see him smacking into a few things here and there, make sure you guys take care of your racers, making sure they're okay. But right now, as you guys can see, Team Vora continuing to go further out into as first place right now, 69 kilometers into the race. They're only 14 kilometers out from checkpoint number 1. Roguestar right behind them, only 2 kilometers. WTTC only 73 kilometers into the race so far. And Oro still right behind, only 5 kilometers away from Team Vora, doing a great job staying steady there. But it seems like the end of the pack UEMC, who just blew up, is going to get further and further into the back of the race. But Team Nova, still a great chance for them to come up and hopefully get they need to catch up, Blood. They need to catch up, because if not, they're going to drop to a lower bracket. They're going to drop to even 3rd or 4th place. So if Team Nova wants to get that top 3 placement in 3rd or 1st, they need to step it up.
Yeah, they definitely got to pull something out. If you notice, between our 1st place and our 5th place is still that sort of 7-kilometer grouping, which means everybody's got a chance. Unfortunately for Team UEMC, now, already being at the end of the pack, we saw that they were already more than 11 kilometers behind at the time of their wreck, and that snapshot was taken. I'm sure by now it's probably even more than that, which puts them into a place where they may not be able to make up that time unless something befalls their competitors, right? So it is possible, still in this environment. Right now we are watching Roguestar, and Roguestar is taking some of those jumps like a boss. Now, if you notice, this is Nova. The moment that he hit the ground, the first thing he did, knowing that rock was in front of him, is he hit the brakes, trying to stop instead of, because that engine, a lot of people don't know that the motor on these Cyclones is actually at the front in the center. And when you hit those rocks straight on, you're pretty much impacting directly into that motor, and that can put you, that can easily take you out. I mean, next thing you know, your motor's on fire. You're still trying to drive. If your motor does catch on fire, the very first thing I would do is tell your scout ship, come down, because if that motor's on fire, you're not long for this world.
Yeah, Nova just took a nasty bump there on that rock right there. And Nova, man, check your integrity right there, because that little bump could have dropped your you're hull by like 20% at that point right now. But Team Nova, they're going to continue going on. Maybe I would say maybe if they can get to that checkpoint 1 and maybe swap out like they've done in previous races, you know, but best of luck, because that rock hit, man, that was definitely a tough one for them. But we got a beautiful daylight. Well, what I love about this is all the craters, like when you're going down on these craters, it gets super, super dark out of nowhere, which is great. I think, you know, beautiful sunlight here on Magda, man, is always great to see.
Yeah, even in the midst of day, due to the features of the of the planetoid, the moon, you, like you said, you can get patches of darkness where you actually need your headlights in order to navigate through, just on the other side of a ridge that you just took, and it was perfectly, you know, daylight. But I love daylight on Magda, I really do. I think it is one of the more beautiful moons for these types of events. And it looks like UEMC actually just had another explosion. So they've now lost 2 vehicles throughout this entire race. They were already in 6th place. Unfortunately, this is going to put them back even farther behind our first place leader and put them in a position where they have some major catch up to do, unfortunately.
Yeah, UEMC, and that's unfortunate. Another blow up, man. Like, this terrain is getting even more gruesome every time we continue to see. But Team Aura doing a great job, still in 4th place and trying to catch up. But Team Vora, man, Team Vora are really, really getting, you know, push the pedal to the metal here. I think you know, the first team that goes to that checkpoint is gonna have at least a good amount of time, because they have to get out, they have to check in, they have to get back on again. So you know, when other teams are already doing that and they can continue, you know, increasing the gap all the way to the finish line, I think Team Vora is gonna do a great job of coming out on top. But if Oro right now, apparently Oro currently in 5th place, with Team Nova actually coming from the back. Look at that blue landscape, incredible. But Oro, if they continue getting that 5th place spot right now, Blood Eagle, it seems like Team Vora is going to take 1st place, and Oro is going to be able to take that 2nd place. But, you know, the good thing here is that no matter where Team Oro plays, they're going to get top 2 no matter what.
Vora wants that win, and you can tell by the way that they're driving today. They seriously, seriously want to. You know, coming out of Stage 2, we had Nova and Vora neck and neck. You know, they had the exact same amount of points, which meant as far as their placement goes, that's a heck of a fall. Ooh. Look at that fall. As far as their placement goes, they were in a position where they were neck and neck, and it could be anybody's race today. Team Vora came out today and said, you know what, we want that win. We're going to push that win. We're going to get it somehow. And they have been driving as if their trophies depended on it.
I think Magda here is one of them, by far the best moon I love to just see overall. But look at this blue terrain here. It's looking great. We got that blue sands biome. How do we call it? Blue sands? We call it, you know, blue dirt? Well, whatever we want to call it, man. This is great. I love seeing it. And it seems like Vora is doing a fantastic job. I believe they're, I think, just 10 kilometers away from the checkpoint right now. And that's going to definitely give them a good gap and put them in 1st. And I believe from checkpoint 1, Blood Eagle. Let's take a quick look at the map right back up here, if we can get the producers to put them up. But from checkpoint 1 to Mount Felipe to the finish line, you see a huge, mostly flat land right there. You'll probably get a lot of little rocks, a lot of little hills. But from checkpoint 1 to Mount Felipe, you are going to get a pretty good, pretty good racing there, because it's just a straight stretch that you should be able to. You don't have to go through mountains unless you get after that, that halfway mark from checkpoint 1. But I think they should have this locked in into 1st place if they continue going at the pace they're going, Blood Eagle.
Crucian, if they can get their scout ships, when they hit that, I'm just going to call it the Blue Sea, because I don't have a better word for it. But when they get to that point, if their scout ship can find them a nice flat area, I would say boost for all you're worth, because much like we found with Stage 2, heading across that frozen lake, trying to get to that 890 jump, that boosting over and over again might be the difference between being able to really put some distance between you and your competitors. Right now we're watching UEMC, who's in last place. They are pushing hard to try to get back into the pack. They are not letting their issues that they've had stop them. They've got new vehicle out. Their scout ship is still doing good, so they are pushing as hard as they can, trying to get back within that grouping of 7 kilometers. And you've got to give them some credit for all they're working with. Here's Nova doing some rock climbing. I've heard that's very popular on certain, certain planetoids. Just getting out there and seeing how many rocks you can climb over. I've done it in a rock. Oh, and that was an engine hit again. That's what actually took them out the first time, was when they came straight forward and hit that engine on the rock. They've got to be very careful as far as that kind of stuff goes, because it could put them back in first place or back in last place again after they worked so hard of moving themselves forward throughout the pack. So they've got to be very careful about that.
Yeah, right now you can see that Team Nova and Aura are neck on neck right now, and then you got the other teams, Vora, just taking a further and further lead here. But Team Nova doing a great job. We got Roguestar in second place. WTTC, again, we saw Roguestar earlier passing WTTC, and then you got Team Nova, who's right neck on neck with Team Oro and UEMC. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. You guys are still right there. You guys just gotta continue to to be resilient and continue to race as fast as you can and try to find the best ways. Have your scout ship go ahead. Have your scout ship scout a good pass for you guys, because this could still be your race. You're not too far away from first place. You're not too far away from third place right now. So continue driving, continue going as fast as you can, and I'm pretty sure you'll see those results, make a difference.
Whatever you do, do not give up. There's always hope. Keep that alive in your heart. Keep pushing that pedal to the metal, and let it go. I mean, there's no worse place you can get, so you can definitely go up from there. So I would definitely keep on pushing it, and it is nice to see them, even though they've had not one but two explosions, they're still keeping within that 11 kilometers. So they haven't lost any more to that, which is great. So it's nice to see them, sort of in that grouping enough. You never know; everybody in front of them could have an explosion, and if they do, that would allow them to possibly get all the way to first.
Yeah, so right now you can see, right, I've talked about this before in prior stages, right? You see that, in the air before they're trying to flip upside down, they get that corrective. I want CIG to hopefully fix that, because in the air, if you're flipping, you're flipping. In the air, you should be able to flip and land however you should land. But if you're on the ground, it should definitely help, hopefully, the vehicle flip over on the ground. But in the air, where there's no ground at all, if you're flipping, that shouldn't correct your vehicle. If you flip on your back down to the floor, that should be how you land no matter what. So I'm hoping in the future they get a little bit of a fix on that, so that way, if I'm trying to do a flip in the air, it doesn't correct it. I know that still needs to be polished, but I feel like I feel like in a way, Blood Eagle, that's a little bit of a cheat for all of us, because I want to see those flips, man. I want to see those crazy flips that we're able to do in a low gravity planet. And we won't be able to see those because we're going to get corrected as we start to flip down to our wheels. So hopefully they get that fixed in the future, because I would love to see some crazy stuff happen. People landing on their roofs with their wheels up and all that good stuff. So,
yeah, no doubt. I am completely with you on that one. If we can get the leaderboard up real quick so we can kind of see where everybody's sitting. I think that we've had a little bit of so if you guys notice, Oro has gotten 12 points from both the first and second stage, which puts them in the first place, and they came into this today as the favorite to win the whole thing. And we were looking forward to seeing their performance today. Team Vora and Team Nova came out of stage 1 and 2 with both having 9 points, which put them both in a tie for second place. And today we've seen Vora move quite a bit ahead, while Nova had some problems early on in the race, but is trying to work their way back up through the ranks. Team Roguestar was you might as well call them, I guess, the third place. Well, they're technically fourth, because Nova and Vora were second and third, respectively. And Roguestar has been working their butt off today to try to get up there as far as they could. All of our teams today have been really getting as quite forward as they possibly could. UEMC was our team that came in to the very first stage using a TR and an RN, had then switched to RCs like everybody else, and they are now in 5th place, and that brings Team WTTC, who are doing a very great job today, who are bringing up the bottom, but because of today's race, could end up getting into the 3rd, 4th position. And it looks like the producers are telling me that if something happens and first place ends up being a tie between two of the teams, that we would end up doing a short race that would conclude who the actual winner will be of the Tour de Verse.
I really like that, so that way, no matter how you place in the previous races, that's not going to give you an advantage. You still have to go head to head and go into a short race to declare your winner. of that battle. So hopefully a quick, maybe 10, 15-minute race somewhere. That would be actually really, really cool to see. So if we do get a tie, we're going to see a final quick race to see which team will take first place and which team will take second place. So stay tuned, because we could, at this point, Team Oro in 4th place could be tied with Team Vora if Team Vora does come out with the win today. So let's see what's going to happen. But incredible racing from all teams so far. Let's go take a look at our distance leaderboard one more time so we can see where Team Vora and where Team Oro is. So Team Vora literally a couple kilometers away from the first checkpoint. Roguestar right behind him. World Trading Circus doing a great job. Continue that route. Continue going as fast as you can. Team Nova in 4th place, passing Team Oro, and Oro dropping down to 5th place. Right now, Blood Eagle, Team Oro needs 4th place or more. If not, Team Vora will take 1st place out of their hands.
You are absolutely correct. It is. If I was Team Oro, no matter what, I would be at least shooting for 4th. I mean, obviously, I want to win. I want to be in 1st place. Yeah, I mean, it's a bad spot to be in, because they, being where they're at right now, if this was it, if the race was over, they would not get a chance to run that tiebreaker. So they definitely need to move forward. Yep. They're definitely gonna have to move forward if they want to at least get a chance at the tiebreaker.
Yeah, right now, Team Oro, I mean, they're not too far away, only 3 kilometers away from WTTC and only 5 kilometers away from Roguestar. But at this time right now, Team Oro would need at least a 3rd place finish if Vora finishes in 1st place to just completely take 1st place and not have to do any tiebreakers at all. But, Team Oro, you guys need to, communicate and hopefully pedal, take this vehicle and push it to its limits so you can be able to hopefully get a top 3 finish and secure your place in 1st place for Turtleverse and just win the whole thing overall, because you guys, I know you guys want this, so it's time to buckle up and concentrate.
I don't believe, Crucian, that talking, doing an interview with Oro and talking to them, they didn't come across as the type of people who would let the success of the first 2 stages go to their head. I don't believe for even a moment that. Looks like Vora is gotten out of checkpoint 1 and is getting back in their vehicle and heading to the finish line. So they're heading to that 2nd checkpoint, which is our finish stage, which is awesome. But as I was saying, Team Oro, I wonder if maybe there was sort of a shakeup of confidence, or something that could be causing them to have a little bit more trouble today than they had on Microtech. I don't think so. Maybe they're just cold weather people. Maybe Magda just doesn't work for them. There's no snow.
I honestly, I don't think so. I just think that Magda is definitely a different beast than Microtech overall. I know Microtech was just tough for people. Even though if Oro does come in into a last place finish in this race of the final stage of Turtleverse, I wouldn't honestly feel bad. I won 2 races already in the beginning. I feel like I can probably continue joining other races in the future, whether it's Demo Rallies or the next Turtleverse next year. But I would definitely still feel confident to take my team and continue racing and competing where I can. And Roguestar reaching the checkpoint right now, looking at that tough terrain, just stay on that right side of the hill, but climbing up there, and we're looking good so far. We got already Team Vora and Team Roguestar getting to their checkpoints.
Yeah, a lot of these moons and planets have naturally occurring ravines that date back to when liquids existed on these planets and sort of carved areas in them. And usually those types of ravines will usually be a smoother ride with small rocks on both sides of you, and you can kind of pick out a path through them versus the edges, the higher edges on both sides of the ridge, which are very sharp rocks that are very hard to navigate around. But if you notice, Roguestar's coming down hard and fast right there next to that Cutlass Red, so they can get in there, talk to the officials, say, hey, we're here, we're proud, we're moving forward, let us go, and keep on moving forward.
There we go. Well, we got Team Roguestar getting to that checkpoint. We're about to switch to Team Nova here soon to see what Team Nova is up to, but a great job. I believe, by the way, Team Vora did swap their vehicles out during that checkpoint 1. I believe their scout ship had their vehicle already on the floor, ready to go, so that was actually a great transition between the communication of the scout ship of Team Vora and their drivers. They're like, hey, we'll have a ship ready for you in checkpoint 1, so that way you can just swap it out and continue with a fresh vehicle and continue racing and getting that first place spot. That is what you deserve. So great job. But here we go, Team Nova here, getting some great views by Pesimak. It seems like they have that rough terrain. I believe Team Nova is only about 10 kilometers away from checkpoint 1. But here we go. We have Roguestar swapping out, and they're about to continue on here. So best of luck here to Team Roguestar, looking to get into that second place spot and put 5 points on the board, which would put them at around 11 points total. But I think Team Roguestar could get a top 3 finish if depending on what other teams land on the leaderboard at the end of the race. So great race so far, Blood Eagle. Great race so far.
Yeah, it looked like Roguestar might be thinking about switching out to another vehicle, but I guess that after a slight pause to possibly get their bearing, they said, you know what, we're not going to worry about it right now. This is tough terrain. We're just going to take off and keep on moving. Oh, look at that jump by Nova. Goodness gracious, that is what you call air right there. Well, lack of it, I guess.
Ooh, hitting
but see,
that
that's the
there,
problem.
Though. Yep.
Did you see how bad the top of that, look at the top of that RC. It is beat. It is battered. It is having some issues. That's a nice jump right there next to that camera ship.
You can imagine
they need to be careful.
Smack into the camera ship. That would have been crazy, man. That would have been crazy. That's what we need to see, some stunts, right? Some stunts, kind of like how Xylo has his stunts of jumps where he lands on other ships and continue. Is it against the rule to jump on your scout ship just so you can, skip over rocks and then drop on the terrain again? Huh. Use your scout ship as a ramp. Why not, right?
We've done some crazy stuff with some of the filming crews. I do. This is gonna hurt. This is a whole lot of rocks.
Dude, that is scary. Going down that hill, they gotta this is a canyon right here where they're gonna have a tough time getting out of. They're gonna lose some spot. WTTC though, currently in 3rd place. This is gonna be tough for them to get out of, and they see checkpoint number 1 right in front of them.
This is where your scout ship comes in handy. That scout ship really needs to guide them down that hill, because I mean you can see checkpoint 1 right there in front of them. They're right there. If they could have gotten enough air, they could have jumped right next to the Cutlass and been able to talk to the referee. But coming down that hill like that and hitting all those weird angles, boy, that is tough.
Yeah, it's definitely tough, but they get down safely. No explosions here, but WTTC, the 3rd team right now, getting to that checkpoint number 1. Let's take a look at the leaderboard and see where our teams are at so far. But Team Vora already hit the checkpoint a while ago. So Team Vora already about 5 kilometers ahead of already passing checkpoint 1. We got Roguestar and WTTC who's right behind them. I think this is a few minutes behind, but still doing a great job. Look at Team Oro and Nova and WTTC. We should start seeing a lot of these teams kind of just hit to checkpoint number 1. But UEMC a little bit further away, but this is getting down to the wire. This is getting down to the end of the road. And look at this flat terrain right now, Blood Eagle. I called it out. Very, very rocky, but super, super flat for them to be able to kind of continue. And once they get down, they should be having a straight shot towards the finish line, already passing our mountain terrain here on Magda. This is looking like a great race so far.
And if you notice, the rocks sort of thin out a little bit once you get down there, and you'll actually have a better chance. It looks like Nova is hitting the checkpoint now as well. So we've got Nova and WTTC and Oro all at 57 kilometers away. UEMC, if you noticed, has actually moved up and made up a kilometer, and now instead of being 11 kilometers away from our first place Vora, has now made it to 10 kilometers away from our first place Vora. So good for them making up that time, whether or not it's due to Vora having to go up and down those mountains, or whether or not it's due to UEMC just pure skill, being able to drive faster and harder. Good for them to to get back in that sort of 10 kilometer grouping.
They need to hurry up, check in with the officials, take a vehicle, and get the heck out of here. I don't care if that was the vehicle of my enemy. I'm going to take that vehicle, and I'm going to zoom out as fast as I can. Dutch with the great views here on the checkpoint 1. But there's a mayhem happening here. I wouldn't be wanting to wait. I would say, check it and go, go, go. Because right now there's so many teams close together, and this is going to be the last stretch for the final race. Did somebody just get ran over?
There is a current issue with Star Citizen where sometimes you would just get knocked on your butt for no reason.
Oh, okay.
And it looked like that guy just had that problem. Somebody,
like, yo,
whoever's driving for Nova right now is bound and determined to smash that rock out of the way.
There we
They-
go.
they
Team
just
Oro,
keep-
man.
They've hit it like 4 times.
Team Oro just said, let's get it, man. We need to catch up. We need to get at least 3rd place. We want to get this first place. We want to get those 3D printed trophies here. We want to get the Sons of Century packs. But, man, here we go. This is where the race really begins in this flat area. As soon as they get there, we already see Vora there. They got a straight shot towards the finish line, man. But Team Oro, let's see. I'm keeping a close eye on you because you know, it's up to you if you're going to be in first place or not.
Yeah, Team Oro, Team WTTC, Team Nova all have that mountain range right there that you see them on. They've got to get over that thing, shooting for that nice blue sea. Meanwhile, Team Vora should be hitting it just about now and starting to really get into a smoother, more level area where they can start just worrying about the rocks in front of them and taking a sigh of relief at now having been past all those mountains. As you see Oro there coming up and over that crest and trying to deal with the rocks on the other side, you can kind of see that downhill area that they've got to look forward to as they get down the other side.
A lot of love for Team Nova in the chat, but we see, you know, like, I mean, you have an org over 5,000. You better get some love coming in here to cheering on your favorite team. But Team Nova doing a great job. Look, they're getting to a flat terrain. You see a lot of these smaller rocks, so these could be a huge problem here. So Team Nova is going to have to learn how to bob and weave around these rocks and hopefully get to that flat terrain so they can just push the Cyclone as fast as they can to get towards that finish line. So Team Nova, you still have a great, you know, third, fourth, and fifth place, really close to each other. So you need to increase the gap. I want to see, Blood, I want to see a finish where vehicles are right there next to each other. That's what I want to see. It's going to be absolutely incredible, and I feel like that's what's going to happen unless somebody blows up, unfortunately.
It would be neat to be able to look at that. That is beautiful. That's what I was talking about right there. That blue sea.
Gun it.
You boost, you let
Gun
go.
it.
You boost, you let go, and you don't stop till you get to the other end. That is some beautiful stuff. The Enigmatic, our boy Enigmatic on the camera there, is giving us. That's some beautiful camera work. It really is.
I love one of the most nicest things to see in Star Citizen is just seeing somebody racing the Cyclone, going as fast as they can in the flattest terrain they can. Right now, Team Vora are really stepping it up, really going as fast as they can. Make sure you pace yourself. Do not explode, but continue going as quickly. Look, the Carrack is trying to probably catch up to the Cyclone right now, but they're doing a great job, man. They're really gonna make that gap even bigger and bigger and bigger in this whole flat terrain. So Team Vora looking very strong for that first place finish today. Baltic Rain, hey, keep your eye on the prize.
That is some gorgeous video right there too. That camera work by Enigmatic is sweet. It really is, because it just really shows you the terrain and what this Cyclone RC is capable of when you take off its leash, get crap out of its way, and say go, just go. And it's really moving now.
Gotta love that flat terrain, man. Absolutely incredible.
You're gonna see a large gap when we see the leaderboard after Vora gets across the sea. You're going to see a huge gap between our first place and second place. Once our second place gets into that sea, they will then be able to start doing the same thing. And you'll notice when you look at the leaderboard where each one of the racers are. There it goes. It just updated. If you notice, Vora is now way ahead of UEMC. Before, it was a 10-kilometer difference. Now we're looking at a 20-kilometer difference just because they were able to get on that flat surface and take off and nothing stopping them.
Yeah, it's pretty much as soon as they get to this flat ground, they'll be able to push it as fast as they can. And that cuts so much time because, you know, all these hills that, you know, give you a challenge so you can have to snake around or you got to, you know, move around these hills. But not today. Right now, we got Team Vora who's gunning it as fast as they can, looking for the cleanest plains here on Magda. Looking like they want to take that first place spot. Hey, this is not the place to explode. This I love a flat terrain. I keep saying it because it just looks incredible. They're really pushing the Cyclone as fast as they can. They went literally about they went like 20 kilometers, Blood Eagle, to like 30 in a matter of minutes. and it's just
Yeah,
incredible
it's
so far.
crazy. It really is. I love. These are the types of places where I'd love to see player added things like a ramp, or just being able to get that flat surface, pop a ramp, be able to hit a ramp, come back down. In the future, I'm sure we'll have things like that. Now we have to use natural terrain, anything we can get a hold of.
Yep.
There's quite a few rocks in front of them, and they have to be careful because while they get the ability to go ahead and just open this thing up and boost to their heart's content, as they get closer and closer to Mount Felipe, they're going to have to start worrying about more and more rocks. There we see Nova having just lost a second vehicle. That means more than likely they are not going to be able to catch up to Team Vora. So there is definitely going to be a difference in the point structure now between those two teams. And we're going to have to see how that sort of shakes out in the end.
That's scary right there because Team Nova exploding, that's going to put Team Oro in that fourth place spot, because remember, WTTC, Nova, and Oro right now are currently all fighting for that, that third to fifth place placement right now. So they need to hurry up and get through. UEMC currently right now getting to the checkpoint finally. And, a little bit after the checkpoint 1 is where you're going to get that flat terrain and be able to speed as fast as you can. Get that need for speed. Roguestar getting to these planes and they see an open road and they're like, let's push this as fast as we can. Roguestar, if they do a very good job in these planes and not explode, they will be able to put themselves in that second place spot right behind Team Vora. Right now, the race is looking incredible right now. They're doing a great job, but it seems like Roguestar just smacked into a rock. That's not good. You don't want to do that in such a flat terrain.
Yeah, they've got a few of those rocks still to navigate before they get off to what we saw Vora on earlier, that super flat terrain with just craziness. So they've got to get past a little bit of this, but in all honesty, there's a whole lot of empty space, and I keep seeing them run into rocks, and that's a little strange, to see them hit so many little rocks when we've got such nice big open spot. Of course, it's going to slow them down, so it's going to give their competitors a chance to catch up, and it's going to give anybody in front of them a chance to get farther out, which right now the only one that is in front of them is so far out that I don't think they could catch them if they wanted to.
Hey, that view right there by Benjo looking great. I love some of these views because they're just so high in the air, and you can see the full terrain. This is how a scout ship should be looking, helping their team find a way to go, but they have a straight plane going on right now. Team Roguestar just gunning, just like Team Vora did earlier, man. This is looking great. Let's take a quick look at the distances right now so we can see how far Team Vora is away from the Roguestar. As you guys can see, Vora only 30 kilometers away, still have a very, very advantageous flat terrain in front of them, while you got Roguestar right behind them. WTTC, again, we saw Nova explode, Oro taking that fourth place spot, and then we got WTTC, and I'm telling you right now, this is the time for Oro to take that third place spot and put themselves on first place no matter what. So Team Oro, you're only a kilometer away. Blood Eagle, I think it's going to come down to the flat terrains here pretty soon. It's going to come down to this to see who's going to take that third place spot.
And speaking of Oro, here they are right here going through that rocky area, hoping to get into the ability of where that that blue sea is at and be able to just open it up. It's a hard spot to be in, trying to navigate through all these tiny little rocks. You don't really get a chance to see too much.
Yeah.
It takes your scout ship really letting you know what's in front of you. If I was that scout ship, I would be up a little bit higher. I would be looking for where the flatter, less rocky terrain is, and I would be steering Team Oro past, towards that, in the hopes that, see, you're coming up on it now. Once they get past all this, they should be in a pretty good position to start opening it up. And that's going to be a great spot.
That should be an okay spot to go around those rocks. Be careful. Yeah. They have the flat plain terrain in front of them. I believe they're getting there before WTTC, if I'm not mistaken, right behind Roguestar. So I think Team Oro, man, is going to be able to take that third place spot sooner or later. They're all just so close to each other right now. But WTTC, Team Oro, man, this it's going to be who wants it the most. That's definitely not what you want right there. Did that make him lose? No, he still has his wheels. He should be good.
He still got it, but even coming off the ground like that puts him in a weird spot,
Yeah, you see the side of his hull right there taking a little bit of damage because it's just so disproportionate from the left side. But right now, that's when you need the scout ship to be like, look, You have a flat terrain. Keep pushing it. Stay in this flat terrain. After the flat terrain, we'll switch out your vehicle because if you have enough damage, you do not want to explode right now. This is not the time to explode because it will give you a huge disadvantage, and you could lose a lot of speed and a lot of momentum because you're right behind WTTC. I won't even want to jump over rocks right now. I really won't even want to jump over rocks right now, Blood Eagle. I'm so scared for these guys to blow up, to be honest.
Yeah. And more than any other team, Team Oro is the one to beat. So they have to be more careful than any other team out there to make sure that they don't make a misstep. Because as you said, if they can finish in third place, they have won the Tour de Verse, hands down. Yep. If they cannot get into third place and they remain in fourth, they're now all of a sudden in that make it or break it tiebreaker. And, so they should be doing everything in their power to make darn sure that they're in a spot to get up there to third place.
Yeah, I mean, all the teams are doing a great job. Again, UEMC just getting out of the checkpoint 1, but Team Vora only 20 kilometers away from that final Mount Philippe finish with the 890 jump waiting for them across here. Roguestar, I'm pretty sure everybody right now is just gunning through these plains, doing a great job. If we can take a look at Team Vora to see what terrain they're in, if they're still, because I believe that it's probably like 30 kilometers of flat terrain, and then it gets a little bit more rough. So as we can see, Team Vora right now, they're not at a flat terrain anymore, Blood Eagle. They got these small little rocks. They have to be careful, but still, they're so ahead of the pack right now that they should be able to finish first, unless they have an unfortunate event here.
Yeah, we knew as they got closer to Mount Philippa that it was going to end up becoming more rocky because it is a mountain. So you kind of expect a rockier terrain, more small boulders, that kind of thing. So there's still a chance, however small, there's still a chance that Vora could make a mistake, run into a rock wrong, explode their cyclone, have to be worrying about, coming down with the scout ship and getting a new one out and respawning. While that's happening, our second place could get past them. So it kind of equalizes the field. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Blue Sea is amazing like you. I love seeing those things just go fast and take all those little jumps in the terrain, which is awesome. But this is, this kind of equalizes it in the fact that it's going to slow everybody back down and make you get more into that skill range where you've got to be careful about how you take the rocks, what your scout ship tells you. Like, you're about to see a rock right there. See, that could have been very dangerous for Roguestar. It really could have. And Dragonfly BE is currently the one driving for Roguestar right now. He needs to make sure that he really talks to his team and says, give me an idea of where I'm going, pick me out the paths, find me the smooth spots so I can keep moving.
Yeah, so right now we are currently 60 minutes of racing so far, Blood Eagle. So like I said, this race is around 80 minutes long. There's still a little bit, but I'm going to say about 20 more minutes to go. It seems like Team Vora right now at a great pace of probably finishing within the next, I would say, maybe 10 to 15 minutes if they continue at their pace. But, today, I'm not going to lie, I don't think Team Vora is going to make a mistake. I think they're going to continue finishing in first place, because if they would have made a mistake, they would have made it a lot earlier in the race, Blood Eagle. So if they're not making those mistakes early, they're not going to make them, those same mistakes towards the end of the race. So they're doing a great job. So Team Nova right now, they exploded earlier, but they're in the plains of speed. That's what I'm going to call them right now, in the waves, and they're going to keep going as fast as they can. Team Nova, if you want to get yourself back on track, you need to put some speed in this vehicle, put some boost in these plains, and get to where you want to be.
It's a tough route, having to deal with all the rocks, and then all of a sudden you get this giant breath of sort of relaxation and a sigh of I just feel like I can just take a breath for a moment, boost, go crazy, get going, and then maybe kind of put your hand on W, kind of lean back a little bit and just kind of go till you get to the other side, and once you get against that other side, all of a sudden those rocks start popping up, and you're like, oh crap, I guess it's over. Now it's time to really get racing again.
Are we there yet? That's what I'm going to ask. And then that delete button. Are we there yet? But here we go. We got Team Oro. They're just past the plains right now. Oh, no, you don't want to get stuck. You don't want to lose any seconds at all. Just, come on, push it through. you guys should be good to go. But little things like that where you guys can lose seconds, man, it could be so critical to your races. But WTTC, though, staying ahead of Team Oro. But if Team Oro can definitely take that, Team Oro, you need to be in that third place spot. If not, you will have to fight for your life in a tiebreaker race. Very nice job jumping off of that plateau
smart.
there.
That was smart.
So here we go, Team Oro. Let's see where you're at right now. Let's take one more time. If we have the distances updated here, as you guys can see, 3 still. Second, third, and fourth place right now. Super close to each other.
Yeah.
Team Vora still with a massive lead ahead. That should be updating here pretty soon. But the race is still looking super tight here. But UEMC, unfortunately, they are quite behind. So they may be seeing a 6th place finish here in the final stage of the Tour de Verse.
Like you said, Crucian, we know that Vora's in first place, right? So unfortunately, because of that lead, it makes their win a little bit more of a boring thing in the race. The real excitement is second, third, and fourth, right? That right now is...
Well, that's not boring because you want Vora to win. You want to see either a tiebreaker or because that makes Oro needs to step it up, because if Oro stays right where they're at, they tie. If they get to third place or second place, Oro, they win the full thing. So,
but do you have any doubt right now that Vora's going to win? I mean, really?
No, they definitely. I feel like even if they explode once, they are going to cement themselves in first place. And right now is just about between second and fourth place, because I'm going to still count Nova. And even though they're only 5 kilometers away, anything could still happen. Anything could still go down. Where they could be able to catch up and pass these other teams that are ahead of them.
Yeah, if Oro can get up just a little bit, if Oro can just move forward and keep it going, or if WTTC makes if I was WTTC at this point, my only goal would be to make sure that Oro does not take over my spot, because I don't want them to get that first place no matter what. I'm gonna help the guys in Vora make Oro work for it. So I'm gonna push as hard as I can, make sure I don't make any mistakes. So not only can I get third place, but also so that I can make sure that Oro doesn't clinch that first place win.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say block them out of it, but like if they earn it, they earn it. But if they want to earn it right now, they need to get out of that 4th place spot. But let's see what happens. We still got a lot of racing to go. There's definitely quite of a bumpy terrain, as you can see. Vora that are definitely way ahead of the pack right now, but it doesn't seem as bad as the mountains right now, right? So Team Vora literally 15 kilometers away from the finish line, doing a great job, and we're gonna definitely see these guys come up with a win today. I'm pretty sure they're pretty excited today. They just need to continue concentrating right now, and especially the scout ship as well. Continue concentrating because it's going back to night. Night could be very, very dangerous during the race.
If I'm correct, I believe that 890 is going to be sitting on the top of Mount Filippo, which means they've got to climb that last mountain to get up there to them. And that's going to be tough, especially with it turning dark now. It's going to be up to that scout ship to really illuminate, their path upwards to make sure that they don't have to worry too much about pitfalls.
Yeah, Mount Filippo, man. Let's get there. One of the secretaries for Kronenberg, even though, man, the secretary is going to have to count all these racers out, because Team Vora definitely doing a great job. Team Oro doing a little bit of a 180 there, kind of flipping around, but they get back on their ground here, and they're doing a great job moving forward. They see the 2 teams ahead of them. I believe teams are still very close to each other, Bloody Go right now. Maybe I would say anywhere between 1 and 3 kilometers, very, very close to each other. So Team Oro still has that chance. Getting up there in 3rd place right now. Team Oro is still behind WTTC. If they keep this stage right now, man, they win the whole thing. Ooh. I mean, I'm going to say it right now. I don't want to see a tiebreaker. I want to see them take it. They earned first place in the first 2 stages of Tour de Verse. I think they deserve it no matter what. So let's see what's going to happen here. But Team Oro definitely pushing it as far as they can. But for right now, Team Vora definitely cementing that 2nd place finish, depending on how Oro finishes, man. It's going to be a great finale. I cannot wait to see it.
Crucian, I just want to say, I know that you're a father, and I'm a father myself. So from you and myself and all of the organizers at SACE Gaming, we would like to wish all of our viewers out there today a happy Mother's Day.
Hey.
Make sure you call your mom wish her happy Mother's Day. Tell your wife happy Mother's Day if they are moms, and make sure that you guys, appreciate them for what they do, because without moms, where would we be, right?
Hey, if you're a single dad, I mean, happy Mother's Day to you too. Just saying.
There you go. Yeah, that
you
works.
You gotta show him some love too, But how many points for first, second, and third place? So right now, for first place, you're gonna get 6 points. Second place is 5. Third place is gonna be 4. Fifth place is gonna be fourth place is gonna be 3. Fifth place is gonna be 2, and then sixth place is gonna be 1. It's pretty much going a little bit backwards from the placement. Again, Tourniverse is only 6 teams. And we got these teams currently battling out right now. You have teams Nova, you got Team Oro, you got Team Roguestar, you got Team Vora, WTTC, and UEMC. These 6 teams going at it in this invitational called the Tourniverse.
Looks like the producers are telling us that Roguestar is currently flipping out their vehicle. They have decided that enough is enough. We're not going to lose that time of having our vehicle explode on us. So they went ahead, landed their scout ship. They're popping out a new vehicle. That way they got something fresh. They can continue trying to catch that second place position, because currently that's pretty much all they can probably get between now and the end is that second place position, as Team Vora continues to remain well ahead of all the competition.
Yeah, I'm getting word that we're going to have a Bengal carry at the... I'm kidding. Just kidding, Chad. Just kidding. Just messing with y'all. No.
Walkers of Sigma have taken one over. They're coming now.
I know. No, you actually can. But, I mean, it's been great to see, the whole Invictus patch and the Bengal carry and the Javelin, all that stuff here. So, definitely is great to see finally this stuff in game. Because, I only see this stuff, in models, online in pictures. So, this, to see people create content, cinematics, you making some pictures, Blood, and some videos as well that we're going to be able to share here pretty soon. But I'm just, incredible by the progress that CIG is continuing to make to put all these incredible ships in the game, and just making Invictus Week and the Intergalactic Expo special every single year. I can't wait.
It's nice because Invictus is meant to sort of represent the celebration and honor that we have for our armed service members in the real world, right? Yeah. So what ends up happening is, once you've created this event, what are you supposed to do every year? I mean, you just run the same event, right? Because that's what happens in the real world. Well, last year we had the Javelin, and everybody went nuts. Oh my God, there's a Javelin. We've been waiting all these years. We get to see all the Javelin and stuff. And then it comes to the next year, and everybody's like, well, okay, so it's going to be the same thing as last year, right? No, we're going to bring out a Bengal carrier and let you guys check out the Bengal. And now I'm not sure if this will change between now and release, but at last discussion, when the game goes live, there will be 4 Bengal carriers in all 100 systems total, period. All 4 of them are meant to be derelict when you find them, and they're going to be very, very tough to find. And then you and your organization are supposed to find it, clear it out, take it over, rebuild it, repair it, and then that becomes yours until the next org comes and takes it away from you. And that's what the Bengal characters are supposed to represent. They will never be player-owned. You cannot buy them. This is how you get the Bengal carriers. This is what you do with the Bengal characters. Now, this is from years ago. We're talking 6-7 years ago. Whether or not that will make it to live or not, I kind of hope it does, because I do think that would be a really interesting org versus org thing. I was on the Javelin yesterday in the PTU, and the Javelin, my organization owns one, and it's massive, man. They only let you in 4 or 5 of the rooms, as you and I talked about before. Ooh. And those 4 or 5 rooms are absolutely massive. The Bengal carrier makes the Javelin look like a child's toy. It is massive, and I can't wait for people to see it. I really can't.
Yeah, we saw some pictures on, but Team Oro taking some damage. I'm not sure if you see, but the hull in the front of it, I feel this is not great by Team Oro. I know Team Oro is trying to stay in that, in the placement they're in right now, but it's looking very dangerous on their part, Blood Eagle, because they just took a lot of damage, and they could explode any second. If they bump into something that they shouldn't right now, they can definitely explode any second. So I'm going to give some love to Oro. Hopefully their vehicle don't explode, but it has taken a lot of damage on the front side of the Cyclone RC. So will they swap out? I am not 100% sure, but it looks like they're going to just continue going. But I feel like if they don't sooner or later, it's going to be an explosion coming soon. Yep.
As many rocks as they keep on hitting. Yeah, as many rocks as they keep on hitting, this may be the time, because it looks like they've got a flat spot out there in front of them. That might be the spot to go ahead and have your scout ship start coming down and flip out that vehicle, because as long as you can maintain that third place lead, you're done. You've finished. You've completed it. You've won, first time champion, first time ever doing it, first time racing, the whole 9 yards. You get to walk away with all of that, all of that accolades. Look, you can actually see when they went into that first person camera, you can actually see the vehicle being beat up pretty hard. This is the time for them right now to switch out those vehicles, no doubt.
We're talking about pricing. Let's take a quick look at we're not gonna show you guys the full thing, but we're gonna take a quick look at the what do you call it, at the prize being modeled up, the Cyclone RC for the winners of Tour de Verse. And we can take a quick look at that, the video, and show a quick minute or two of how the pricing is coming along. Let's skip over to that really quick here. Mic's on, the video. There we go, and we're back here. We just wanted to show you guys a little bit about how the 3D model printed pricing went ahead here. But while we take a little bit of a drink break, and we're gonna continue with the action today. And while we took that little quick minute of a break, let's take a look at our distance leaderboard and see where these teams are, because it seems like Vora is getting a lot closer, only 2.2 kilometers away, getting to that finish line. 100% coming in first place, sorry. WTTC in second. Team Oro still in third place right now. Definitely getting a gap away from Nova. If Oro takes that third place, that's going to put him in that first place spot. What do you think so far, Blood Eagle? Incredible race.
I mean, good on Nova for actually coming from, we saw them crash. They were, look at that 890 sitting out there in the distance, ready to be coming up on. Nova's moved from the rear all the way up to fourth place through just sheer determination and skill, honestly.
Yeah.
Because they took that wreck earlier and it knocked them all the way down to last place, and they fought their way back up, and that's amazing to see them do that. We're now witnessing Vora, as they are the first place to get up to the 890 jump. They will check in with the referee. When they do, they will receive their Pico prize. Once they've received their Pico prize, that will give them the first place finish of the stage 3 of the Tour de Verse, which will give them 15 points. Now it's all up to Oro and Nova. Depending on what happens between Oro and Nova, will change, will decide the whole thing. But good for Vora being able to do that. Voltic Rain, they have done an amazing job today. They have busted their butts, and it really shows with skill of the drivers. You can see the larger lead they have over everybody else, and it has allowed them to get that first place finish, and they should definitely hold their hands high. If I'm correct, no matter what happens now, they will have second place, no matter what.
Yep, no matter what here, chat, let's give some love and hype in the chat for Team Vora, who is your first place winner here on the final stage of Tour de Verse. Already cemented them in a second place finish here. It all depends on what happens to Team Oro and what happens to them. If they get that third place spot, Team Oro will have enough points in order to beat Team Vora by 1 point at this current time. So right now, this is going to be a very close race. Team Oro definitely pushing their vehicles, only 10 kilometers away from the finish line. WTTC still holding it strong in second place. Let's see what happens here. There's still a lot of racing to go. But
it all depends. It's all up to Nova now and whether or not they can beat Oro to the finish. That's the big one.
Yeah, did you see Rockstar was all the way, they were literally fighting for third place and now are all the way behind right now. And they're getting passed by... Wait, who just exploded
there went
there?
An explosion.
Was that Team Oro?
No,
that was
no.
Team Nova exploding, which I think was right next to Team Oro. Can we take a look at the distance tracker real quick here?
There's Oro.
Yeah, so that was WTTC right next to them. So Oro in second place right now. WTTC right behind them. WTTC needs to get him up there, but Rockstar and Nova definitely way behind. It seems like, dude, this is going to be very, very close. This could give Oro the win right now.
You know, no matter what happens between now and the end of the race, no matter what, Nova should be very, very proud of the fact that they started strong, blew up, worked their way from last place to fourth place, and unfortunately, this is going to harm them from this point moving forward, which stinks. But it's racing in Star Citizen, and it's kind of how it works. It's an unforgiving environment, which is the reason why our competitors are so skilled and work so diligently and hard to get to these spots where they're at.
Yeah, I feel like right now WTTC has a tough terrain as opposed to the terrain that Oro is driving in. I feel like they're definitely, it is a lot tougher, but you can literally see the scout ship for Oro right around the same area where WTTC is at right now. So let's see which one is going to get to that 890 jump first. But it seems like if Oro gets that second or third place finish, they are going to get that first place overall in the vehicle. But WTTC exploding currently. That's going to put Oro in second place. Blood Eagle, what is happening? Oro,
that is a hard spot.
From fifth place, cementing themselves at second place and putting them even further out in first place if they finish here today. What is happening? WTTC, you need to get back into the race ASAP.
You know, we said that Team Oro was the favored to win the whole thing. We were excited about the fact that they were brand new to racing. We were excited about the fact that they were brand new to the Tour de Verse. They came out strong with Stage 1, with a definitive finish. They came out strong with Stage 2, going through 19 RCs to make sure that they were the first ones there. Even though they are not the first to cross the finish line for this stage, if they maintain that second spot, they will have definitively won the Tour de Verse, and there will be nothing anybody can say about it. I'm really looking forward to seeing... Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, right now we're going to try to see if we can get our winners of Stage 3 here on an interview, but again, man, Team Oro, man, all the way, they were in fifth place for, I would say, like 80% of the race, coming back into second place, staying strong, man, and it's been a great race, Blood Eagle. No explosions. We had only a few, but it's not was every 10 seconds where your vehicle exploding. Magda has been very resilient. The servers have been very resilient with us today. It's been some great racing overall, and I'm very happy for these teams.
Yeah, we'll say no explosions due to the game. All explosions due to the drivers. and that's the best you can ask for, right? I mean, in a perfect world, if there are going to be any problems, we would much rather happen to be because of the way people drive or the mistakes they make versus the game taking those decisive driving abilities away from them. So it's turned out to be a very good race. I've been very, very excited to see it. We've had some really great nail-biting moments. We've had some very close calls, and those types of things, I believe, make an amazing program and a memorable event. And I think that you would probably agree with me that the Tour de Verse has been nothing if not memorable.
It's been a great race so far. All 3 stages of Tour de Verse. Again, this is a full invitational, only 6 teams, and I think, you know, Sayes has done a great job here, you know, making a different race environment for racers that you don't really see in the Star Citizen universe. We got UEMC with another explosion right now, but teams are doing a great job. I believe we have Team Oro and Team WTTC neck on neck, trying to get back, trying to get this finish, and Team Nova right behind them. Let's take a quick look at our distance tracker to be able to see where these teams are currently at right now. So as you can see, Team Oro in second place, and man, are y'all teasing me over there? What y'all doing, man? I'm just
you just get a little bit of side. Not, I don't want to say boob.
Oh, whoa. But anyways, you got Team Oro, who's currently in second place all the way. 80% of the race, they've been in 5th or 4th place right now. So Team Oro definitely right now. Vora, second place in points right now. If Team Oro finishes right now the way they are, they're going to cement themselves in first place no matter what. You got Rogue Star right behind, coming all the way from 5th place right now, passing WTTC. Rogue Star can definitely still put some great points on the board, but great racing by everybody. Team Oro is on the way, and we're going to have here in 1 more minute, we're going to have Team Baltic Rain for an interview about how they felt about today's race.
Yeah, it's been an exciting race, and we're about to see Team Oro actually make it to the finish line. If we stick with them for just another moment, we are going to have them hit that 890 jump, which will be the winners of the very first Tour de Verse. However, that should not take away from the amazing job that Baltic Rain did today, because they really showed their skill, and they've shown why they're veteran racers of all these different events that they've been in, because they pulled it out and really pushed hard, and it really shows. So, I mean, congratulations for Oro in winning the whole thing, and we will talk to them shortly, I am sure. But also, Crucian, we've got 2 of Team Vora with us here, Consolo and Konar, and congratulations to you guys for getting that first place win.
Yeah, thanks a lot, mate.
Thank you very much.
How you guys feeling, man?
I'm nervous.
No, you're good.
We're still nervous. The heart is beating. The blood is pumping. It's absolutely insane. At some points, we had over 20 kilometers up ahead to the second team. I'm not really sure which team it was. The hands are still wet, and it's so exciting. It was so fun and so cool to race. We had literally no bugs, no errors. At stage 1, we changed our RC, but not because it exploded. We scanned it, and we saw it has only 85% health left.
Yeah.
So we decided to step out and change to a new RC. So if we compare to the last week where we blew up 10 RCs and today not even one, that's absolutely amazing. That was so cool.
Yes.
Definitely a different racing environment than last week, right?
Yeah, the gravity is very, very, very crazy on this moon. You fly so away if you jump over the hills, and then you fly and fly and fly. It's crazy. That's fun.
Yeah, huge difference between the gravity on Microtech and the environment, and then all of a sudden switching here. It must have been a sort of a shock.
Yeah.
Especially for me as a co-driver, every time he drove over a hill and was up in the air, and I was saying left, no right, no left, no right, no left. Oh yeah, I'm still in air, but I can't control. And when he landed, oh no, you need to turn left and then right. Oh no, straight ahead. And that was some kind totally chaos. I guess it was the same for every team, especially as through the low gravity, but overall so cool.
Yes.
Well, hey, honestly, we had 3 stages of Tour de Verse. Which one was your favorite so far? I mean, honestly, nobody's favorite was stage 2. So it was either stage 1 or stage 3. So which one has been your favorite so far to race, and where would you like to see Tour de Verse go in the future?
Oh, I think stage 1 is for me
Okay.
the best race in Tour de Verse, but I like Magda too. And also stage 2 without bugs, please. I think next year the same procedure, Magda and Microtech would be
Okay.
nice. Yes.
Okay, some good feedback. Well, what about you guys know that Oro finished in second place. That puts them right now in in first place, which you guys cemented yourselves in second place. How do you guys feel about the development of Star Citizen and racing overall? Do you guys like where it's at and where it's going in the future?
Oh yes. At first, congratulations to Oro. Great race, great team. It was very, very nice to try with them. And for the future, I think it has to be. Connor, help me.
I guess what he's trying to say is that the racing needs to improve directions, that they need to fix things about collision.
Yeah.
Today on Magda, we was able to drive through the very small rocks. That was no problem. As big rocks, they had collision, but that was all fine. But if you remember back on Microtech, there were collision where no objects were. And if they would fix that, that would improve racing.
Racing, yep.
A big way. Because not the problem is the tough terrain or the amount of obstacles in the way. So the big problem is that we collide or explode on something where isn't literally nothing, and that has to be removed, and then we can drive so much better.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you guys should absolutely be very proud of what you did. You know, Crucian and I both know you as being consummate racers. We see you guys in almost every event out there, sometimes 2, 3 different Voltic Rain teams, which we love to see you guys doing so many events. We know that you guys absolutely love this kind of stuff as much as we do, and it's great to see you guys be in this thing. I have one closing question for you, and this is probably the most important question you're going to be asked today. How do you decide who gets the second place prize?
What's the prize? I think
it is
a rover?
It is an Origin G12 racer.
Kona, because I got one. I buy one in the pre-sale, or in the other members they got one too.
Gotcha.
And Kona didn't get one, and so he was a great co-driver, and I think it's a great present for him. So he get the G12.
That is some sportsmanship.
Much appreciated.
Love to hear that. That's some great. That's what you call a true team, and it shows in everything that you guys do. Again, you guys should be absolutely proud. Thank you so very much for joining us for an interview. Congratulations on your first place win today and your second place win overall in the Tour de Verse. Just remember, years from now, as far as the inaugural Tour de Verse goes, so 10, 15 years from now, you guys were the second place winners in the very first one, and that cannot be taken away from you ever. I mean, that is cemented in history now. So thank you so much, guys. We really do appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you guys in many different other races.
Yeah, thanks for your effort.
All right, thank you, man. Appreciate you guys. All right, we got Team Nova here continuing to finish. We got our 5th and final contestants here finishing. Team Nova, who is currently tied with Team Vora. Unfortunately, this 5th place finish is not going to really put them on top of the leaderboard right now. But still, Nova doing a great job and finishing the race currently right now, getting towards that 890 jump, and is leaving Team UEMC right now with only 10 kilometers to go. Do we have an updated points leaderboard currently, or is that still being worked on? Love to see an updated points leaderboard to see. All right, they're currently officials are currently working on it, but so far, Blood Eagle, Team Oro, congratulations. Team Vora, congratulations. WTTC though doing a great job finishing right behind Oro. It's been a great race today so far, Blood Eagle. I mean, How do you feel about it? What's your recap about the total race? I mean, we saw Oro from 5th place to 2nd place, man. It's been crazy.
Last week during stage 2, I explained to you that I believed that these teams could show themselves to have good sportsmanship by whether or not they arrived and raced today at their hardest, even if they thought they could or could not win. And, we've been proven right, and I'm so happy to see that. The fact that every one of our teams arrived on time, every one of them came into this with the intent of getting first place. They all have raced their heart outs. Their hearts out. I believe that we should truly be in awe of their dedication and their honor, having done exactly what they said they were going to do, which is come to the Tour de Verse, race as if they wanted that first place win no matter what, and be here for all the races. I know last week was kind of a little bit of a hard race due to just normal Star Citizen-y type things, and nobody let them get them down. Everybody showed up this week, and everybody was willing and ready to to push hard. I mean, it's you got to appreciate it, and you've got to have respect for them. So here we're watching UEMC, who is our last place, currently in last place, and will be our last place, unfortunately, whether they like it or not, because everybody else is finished. But they are still pushing hard and racing hard, and they haven't given up at all. And that's I got so much respect for that. I really do.
Yeah, so much about the Tour de Verse is mostly about just wanting to finish and just, keeping that resiliency and just having a good time overall. It's not really about, what place you finish. If you join a race and you win. But, it's all about having that competitive spirit and putting yourself out there and putting your Cyclone to the test as much as you can and getting better for the next race to come. But let's take a quick look at the top leaderboard. I know we got the points up. They just told us. So if we can take a quick look at it, as you guys can see, Team Oro, the number 1 of the Tour de Verse, coming in 2nd place here in the final stage with 17 total points. You got Team Vora. They're getting that 2nd place finish. As you guys heard them, they're going to give their teammate the G12. Getting that 15th place, and Team Nova coming in 3rd place. Still a great overall placement for Team Nova with 11 total points. You got Roguestar, just straight across the board, coming in 4th place with 9 points. WTTC, though, coming in 3rd place this time around, getting 4 points and 6 points total. Then UEMC coming in last place today, which is going to put them on 5 points. And then, still great job by everybody. Continue being resilient no matter what, not giving up on these races, and just a great time overall. But congratulations to Team Oro, and congratulations to Team Vora for 1st and 2nd place.
And actually, congratulations to all the teams for being chosen for the inaugural Tour de Verse and showing up, doing your job, doing it so well. You guys have provided us with hours upon hours of amazing footage, good entertainment, and a great competitive spirit, an honorable competitive spirit. Every one of you should leave today with your head held high, knowing that you brought your very best, did your very best, and we're so thankful for you guys being a part of this. The competitive spirit of the Star Citizen community is second to none. The fact that, as Crucian said earlier, in the end, this is a video game. This is a video game that we all love. We come here and we compete and we try to do our best and we try to beat out our competitors. But in the end, it's the video game itself that has brought us all together and made us friends from around the world and allowed us to share this common passion with each other. And, that's, to me, that's the amazing part of this whole thing. And I'm just so excited and happy to be a part of the community that is Star Citizen.
Yeah, it's been honestly a great day so far. So, again, for those of you guys that were cheering for Team Oro in the chat, make sure you guys show them some love. For those of you guys that are showing, are cheering for Team Nova as well, make sure you guys show them some love as well in the chat, because all these teams, man, for just showing up and participating, they've absolutely done a great job today in the inaugural season of Tour de Verse. We're looking for more, hopefully next year, to see what SACE and this organization has in place. To see, the current, whether it's me or Blood or whoever else is casting, I'm pretty sure no matter what it is, you guys are going to have a great time here. But we're going to get Team Oro here for an interview. And then obviously in the end, we want to get a little bit of conversation from Luo, who, organized all this stuff, and get his final thoughts about, just Tour de Verse overall, because without getting some words from the person who organized everything. That's what we need right now. So we're gonna get Team Oro here pretty soon. But congratulations again to everybody, man. Whether you're at home, whether you're cheering the beers right now, whatever you guys are doing, great job to every single team. So
yeah,
Yeah,
we are
good
actually
evening. Good evening, guys.
joined right now by Oro Catnavito, who is one of
Yeah,
our Oro team members.
fantastic.
Yeah, we can hear
Correct
you. How you doing
pronouncement.
today?
Well, it's a fantastic evening. Oh, this was really. We were here on the edge, right? We faced some technical difficulties, and it was really, really, really challenging terrain.
yeah.
So we had absolutely no clue how the race would go. We just went for it, and yeah, it's fantastic. It's
I've got to say, you had us a little bit scared at the beginning after being forced to make a prediction by my co-host here. I chose that Oro would take it all. And then as the race progressed, you guys kind of had to be scared a little bit. And I was like, oh, man, I don't know if they're going to do it. But you guys ended up coming back on top, and you won the whole thing.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
exactly.
got to be an amazing feeling for you.
Yeah, exactly. We absolutely didn't anticipate it at all. Because during the race, of course, you noticed, you are lacking behind, right?
Yes.
And exactly, we had our driver was basically alone, while we, of course, also always practice with a driver and a co-driver there, pointing directions. So, but we lost our co-driver early in the game due to a crash. So that was a bit of bad luck. We could eventually recover from it, but then of course, we were already faced with quite a position, that you really need to go for it. But then we recovered, and it went quite well. We made some good decisions, I guess, and we had the luck that we could continue driving with the cars that we had, and we didn't had to bring in a second carrick. That was, of course, that would really make a difference. So I don't know how the other teams were doing, but I've had deep respect for all the drivers that go through this rough terrain.
So question here, right? And my question is gonna be like, were you guys nervous when you were, when you guys were in 5th place, but all of a sudden towards the end of the race you picked it up and ended up in 2nd place? Were you guys nervous knowing that you guys were in a really, deep placement in the beginning of the race, or were you guys just mostly concentrating on the race?
Well, I think it's for us, we started really as the underdog. Yeah, so then you're quite relaxed. But we all noticed that during the 3rd stage, everybody was thrilled. Like, okay, shall we take 1st position? Can we really pull it off? So then we were far too stressed, of course. Then all the the technicalities came in, right? Then you totally realize, okay, guys, this is the moment that all the stress is gone, right? Because it's quite obvious that you are not going for 1st place, right? So, but we recovered, and that was then at a certain stage we realized, okay, try to get as many people as reasonably possible, just to safeguard the total income.
Real quick here, I wanna put some eyes in the spotlight on Team UEMC, who's currently coming up on the final stage of the race, and the final team to finish the Tour de Verse. Congratulations to UEMC. I think once you finish, you should be happy. Your whole team should be happy. So congrats to UEMC right here on the board, who is currently finishing up the race. Congratulations to them.
So,
congratulations,
Kat, I will
guys.
tell you that when you go back and watch the VOD, there was a period of time that I questioned your confidence and whether or not it was faltering. I apologize. You guys proved me wrong. You guys did an amazing job, and you got the win. You got the inaugural Tour de Verse 1st place win, having never done this before. I know that we have some other events coming up soon, some of them in Atmo Esports. Do I expect to see you guys signing up for these events?
Well, this certainly helps a lot, right?
Yeah.
But there are already talks going on about forming a racing team. So yes, we get inspired and we get enthusiastic about it. Yes, I would definitely say a big chance that there will be a next team popping up for another event.
I'm going to hold you to that. I'd like to see you guys at the Atmo Esports events as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
As, I know of many different events by many different organizations, and I'd definitely love to see you guys, join them all as the winners of the Tour de Verse.
Well, this is fantastic. We had a quick discussion about can we invite you all in for the barbecue? But maybe we have a different proposal. We are currently organizing a kind of a bar citizen for the Netherlands. And we would invite basically all the racing teams of Tour de Verse to have a drink. The first round isn't for us.
That'd be amazing. I've heard the Netherlands is a beautiful area. Yeah,
that's incredible. Hey, make sure you put that in the announcements here in the Discord, and make sure you let people know, there's still COVID out there, so make sure you take precautions in that during the bar citizen. I'm not saying you're not. I'm just saying that those precautions, make sure they're there so that people can feel safe. But you guys heard it here, Team Oro. They invite all the racers that are in the Netherlands. If you guys want to come down for a drink, I'll take him up on that right now. So, but Oro, last thing here, man. Congratulations again. You won the full Tour de Verse. You won the 3D printed models. You guys are getting a Sons of Centauri pack. But any last words for the community, the Star Citizen community out there? Any last words that you want to say?
Well, it's sorry. I would say yes. Chris Roberts is really busy creating this fantastic game, but I think we as a community, we are making the real difference that will make this whole event count for now and for a couple of years to come. I'm pretty sure.
That is very well said, no doubt about it. Thank you so much again, Kat Nevito from Oro. We really do appreciate it. Our inaugural first place winner for the inaugural Tour de Verse.
Okay, thank you very much.
Congrats again, man. Have a good one. So, guys, we're wrapping it up here pretty soon, but we need to get Luo here. Somebody get Luo here before I lose my mind. I'm just kidding. But, guys, it's been a great day. It's been a great day so far. Like Blood Eagle said, to all the moms and just single dads out there, I can't let you guys out. Happy Mother's Day again. We're still in a pandemic, so make sure you guys are staying safe out there. If you guys are going out, make sure you guys wearing your mask and all that good stuff. Blood Eagle, man, great race today. We saw first and second place, put themselves on the board for the first Tour de Verse. How you feeling, man?
It was a nail biter. It was absolutely interesting because we went into it thinking certain things and came out, or halfway through, the teams we thought were going to be in first place ended up going backwards. The teams that we thought would be in last place ended up moving forwards. And it's this kind of a race like we had today in stage 3 where it really pushes forward the excitement of these types of events and how much fun we have at them because of the racers and what they did and their ability to bring such a great show, for the viewers. I enjoyed myself. Obviously, this is my first Tour de Verse, as it is yours. I cannot thank the SACE organization enough. It is the SACE organization. A whole crew of them are currently just sequestered in a studio, and they are the ones that are bringing everything that you see around you, all of the people coming in to talk to us, all of the videos, all of the overlays. This entire production has been done by SACE. They did, in my opinion, an absolutely amazing job, especially with this being their very first one for this type of event. And I look forward to maybe being invited back next year, or if not, being on the sidelines and cheering the heck out of whoever does get invited.
Yeah, great to say. Let's get Luo Vici in here. Thank you again for that, Blood. Let's get a word from the organizer himself. Luo, how you doing, man? I mean, you should feel good, man. You just completed the whole Tour de Verse, man. Like you should be happy. You guys should have champagne, tossing it everywhere over there. Oh, okay. Be careful with the equipment, man,
Oh, Luo, you're not able to be heard by the chat.
Yeah, it says silent.
We're going to force you to do all this again. Everything from the top.
All right, just give
So
us
for
1
you
second,
folks that are
guys. We'll
watching-
get him on here. Yep. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
for you folks that are watching, it's a madhouse. There's a reason
Yeah,
why they
here
put
I am.
themselves on mutant, because they've got it. Like I said, they've got an entire team in that studio, and they're talking behind the scenes so much you wouldn't believe. So now you guys should be able to hear Luo, and everything should be good now.
Can you speak now?
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, I can speak. Like, maybe can the chat please tell me if you can hear me?
Can you guys hear him now, or yeah, thumbs up, thumbs down? Chat should be able to
One
hear
of
you.
each.
Okay. Yeah, I'm here. Okay.
Yes, now we can hear him. All right, awesome. All right, you got to start over.
Sorry for
Luo.
that.
Go ahead.
Well, I did not know what you asked, but we had a blast. And last stage of the first edition of Tour de Versus just ended. Wow, it was great, man.
I mean, like, so, obviously I don't want to look into next year so much, but like, how do you feel? Like, obviously this is a learning experience for, for yourself, for your team, for everybody. Like, do you, how do you feel about, going into the next Tour de Verse next year?
Well, we had a lot of hiccups this year, partly due to us being inexperienced, partly due to Star Citizen. But I think as a first edition of Tour de Verse, this was really great. Teams had fun, we had fun, and there's a lot of stuff we learned. We keep a list of what we can improve for next year, and I'm really looking forward to it. Can't wait, actually.
I'll tell you, we can't wait to see it either. You guys did an amazing job. I think that you guys should absolutely be proud. I know that Crucian asked earlier, stated the joke earlier that you guys should probably have some champagne, and you said to the viewers,
the champagne is already cold and ready. I should have actually put a webcam in the studio to show it to you, but I didn't ask everybody. Yeah,
sort of
maybe
a
next year.
behind-the-scenes making of.
Yeah, maybe next year.
Yeah, you guys just going crazy after the first winner just comes in. You guys just losing your minds and have the pop rockets going everywhere. That'll be so fun. That'll be great.
Yeah, and congratulations to the winning team. It's really good. And also, nobody said that before, but you, Christian, and Blood, you really did an amazing job. You kept this thing running. We cannot appreciate enough that what you did for Tour de Verse. And it's so happy. It's so fun to see everything back, because the whole staff is of course watching everything back, and it's really great to see. And what you make of it is awesome.
Thank you. That's very kind of you.
Yeah, much appreciated, man. Like I love casting Star Citizen. I'm all about the community. I may not be seen, streaming a lot, but always behind the scenes. I'm always trying to do something special. So, look around, because I might be around somewhere around the next Citizen Con. So we'll see what happens. Trying to work on something. So, I'm always trying to do something crazy behind the scenes for this community, and it is much love. But hey, Luo, last thing here, man. Anything you want to say to the community, show your love, thanks, your parents, whatever you want to do, man. But, you got to show the community and let them know what you think of everything here. So it's your time to shine, man.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, okay. Well, I have organized events before, but nothing was compared to this community. There was so much help from everybody. Teams were so nice. Everyone was patient. Organizing this event was a pure joy for everybody. And there's a lot of people you don't know. For example, Phil Wandering and Kingly Kitten. The behind the scenes, they're being the referees for 3 Sundays in a row. Nobody sees them, but they make sure that you see the score. Yeah. There's so many people that help to it, and this is really great. And of course, as closure, it's Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day, Mom.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh.
Luo, before we let you go, I have one question for you as we let you out the door. And I'm not going to hold you to this, but any hint on where the Tour de Verse will be next year?
Definitely not on Microtech.
I'm sorry.
Now,
Oh, my.
as the Tour de France, what we're going to do is the Tour de France. It's a tour. So we started at Microtech and had to finish in Magda because of reasons.
Yeah.
But we're touring the Verse, and it's the first grows to the Verse grows.
Gotcha. That makes total sense. That makes total sense. So maybe, maybe we'll see more than 6 teams next year. Who knows what's going to happen? But, thank you so much, Lou. I appreciate it, man. Myself and Blood are going to close it out. Blood, any last closing remarks before we head out?
You folks will be able to catch me tomorrow actually doing the 100 Bullets League, doing the broadcasting for that for Nova Intergalactic on their Twitch channel. So make sure you guys look out for that. I will say that it has been an absolute honor and pleasure to work beside that man right there, Crucian Gaming, who is a consummate professional. And this has been an absolute joy and very exciting. I definitely look forward to seeing what SACE Gaming does next and how they push forward in the Star Citizen universe. And no matter what, I'll be there. I'll be there helping them out, working with them, cheering them on, and maybe even being a participant.
Yep. As for myself, man, thank you guys all for being here and watching, this incredible Tour de Verse inaugural season with us. Again, big shout out to Sace. Thanks for taking all my input and being patient with me because, I've been doing this for a while and I know so much about all this going on. So they've been patient with me and making things as great as we can possible. And I'm telling you, only next year can only get better. So you guys can always find me anywhere, any platform, Crucian Gaming. You guys can come hang out with us at any time. Always love opening new members to my community with open arms. But other than that, this has been the Tour de Verse inaugural season. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thanks, and have a great night.
Love you guys.
This is bloopers time.